live.
So we're live. We're going.
We're live.
Let me just.
We're going.
Yeah, we're going.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me double check.
Hold on. Let me double check real quick.
Is the intervalometer on?
The intervalometer is on. The intervals are going.
All of them are recording.
Yeah.
Let me just triple check one more time.
Okay. Let me just quadruple check real quick. Let me just quadruple check one more time. It's been a while. Okay. It's been a couple weeks.
I'm doing this for real. I get paranoid. Halfway
Right.
through the show, I'll be like, "What if the last hour there was no Z footage?" I'm like,
You think that's never crossed my mind?
nah.
Never.
No.
All right.
Do I ever cross your mind?
Okay.
All right, we're live. Boss.
Boss.
Might be a little bit more in your. You see it? You do it? Oh, it fell. You got it.
One day I'm gonna come in a full gully suit and be like, "I'm the Moss Boss.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the Moss Boss."
A ghillie suit, you mean?
Ghillie suit.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So peep this. All right. Okay. So what episode was it where we were talking about KRS-One? Where I was like, oh, he wrote a 600-page book just to rationalize him wanting to say nigga.
That was at Jaded episode 26.
It was, yeah.
What if I remember?
Several episodes ago, but yeah, it was not that long ago.
Yeah.
Okay. So somehow Zach and I got to texting about like what we were talking about. And I'm not going to lie, like I felt a little like, I don't know, like anytime I'm like criticizing someone in public, there's always a part of me that's like, oh, was I being too like harsh, or was I being
Sure.
was I being like irrational or like mean spirited or something? And you know, like some people got upset at what I was saying about KRS-One, right? And so I'm like,
Very upset.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Very
I,
upset.
Yeah.
so I was texting with Zach, and Zach is like, wait, hold on. Didn't KRS-One defend Afrika Bambaataa?
Oh, that's right.
And for those who don't know,
That's right.
Afrika Bambaataa sexually assaulted, I don't even know how many people
Yeah.
over the course of years. His victim started coming out maybe around like 6 years ago or so, or something like that. And all of a sudden, I was reminded of KRS-One being interviewed about the situation.
Oh,
And I just had a fuzzy, like, I don't know, I had a fuzzy memory of him being cold or kind of like making excuses or something like that.
Oh, no. Oh, dear.
I went back to the audio, to the receipts, and I have them here.
Oh, wow.
So we're gonna listen to this
Oh,
really quick.
no. Stop the violence.
Just heads up, 1 minute and 36 seconds. It's worth every second.
Okay.
Are you ready for this?
Okay.
No.
Take this in.
All right.
And so I have to ask this question, with that being said, with the name being, like, how is hip-hop supposed to respond to the Bambaataa? Like, how are we supposed to do that? Because you're
what angle you want to take it from?
I just don't know. That's why it's a generic question. What should we do? Because you
Yeah. I
being
think this is
our
drink champ.
father,
Sure.
whatever you say, I have to move accordance to it.
Well, you know, first of all, controversy is not truth. What you want is truth right now. You want truth.
Right.
But truth is also not information. It's not gossip. It's not even conversation.
It literally gets better. Wait.
For me, if you keep it hip hop,
Right.
nothing can be taken away from Afrika Bambaataa's
not at all.
contribution.
Not at all. Nothing.
Just keep it hip hop.
Right.
But if you want to dig into dude's personal life and the accusations that's being made and so on, me personally, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Personally. If somebody was harmed or whatever was done or whatever, y'all deal with that shit. What? Deal with it.
Wait,
Right.
it gets better.
That don't stop hip hop.
Right.
That
No.
don't stop what
It
you
doesn't
did
take
for
away
hip hop.
the legacy.
Don't
Right.
take away none of it. History's history.
Right.
But deal with that. That's personal. I don't, I don't even know what to say.
Because I don't know the facts of the
past
case.
No, but even if you knew the facts,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? A person like me, I deal with dudes that are questionable all the time.
I'm stopping it there. That's all you need. That's all you need to hear.
If you keep it hip hop, it doesn't. If you keep it hip hop, I just want to say, if we want to keep it hip hop,
Right. No, they're gonna have Cosby on next.
Zach was like he wanted to keep it hip hop. He wanted to keep it all the way hip hop.
I like how it feels like he's moving towards like a nuanced, like, you know, his music is that, but you have to condemn the personal life. But he's like, I don't give a fuck about that in that context.
Hey, look, if you want to keep it R&B, R. Kelly still did that shit.
Okay. So Zach doesn't just bring this up. Zach is like, oh, and that song he did called 13 and Good.
Oh, for the love of God.
Are y'all ready for this?
No.
By the way, in the YouTube comments on this video I just played, someone goes, I always thought this guy talked too much. Now I'm wondering what else is in that nasty head of his. And someone replies, look up 13 and Good. Are you ready?
God.
Are you ready for this?
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
There's a music video?
Yes!
Yo.
Production value.
There was a fucking
You're not
EP
ready
on this.
You're not ready for this.
My God.
Y'all are gonna fall out of your chair.
I walked into place, very big space, every kind of race, dancing in ace, men chase, the very pretty face, so I walk into place, throw the bass. Bass is kicked, fly girl jumps on the tip, the drink that I sipped implied this was it. She looked to be about 26, I ain't dizzy, it's time to get busy. Well-built female is in my arms, yes, overwhelmed by my Playboy charms. We jumped in the ride, rushed to the crib. I ain't gotta explain what we did. Built to last, I simply waxed that axe. The question, no need for guessing. Question was, hey baby, how old are you? 26, 21, maybe 22. I'm 25, she chuckled kinda mean. And said, I'm only 13. 13, I need a quick escape, a statutory rape. But she was, all that time was that. Yo, I'll tell you, the girl was dope. She looked so. Yeah, but that jail term won't be. Yo, you had to beat it. Yeah, but her brothers will beat you. Yo, even if I get beat down, it was still. Come on, man. Was it really that? It gets better. This girl's.
All right.
Does it get better, though?
All right.
Does it get better?
Now
How much better?
Now here's what I gotta say, right? He tries to sort of like bundle it all up at the end of like, this is a cautionary tale. But here's the funny thing. He has a line where he's like, what's the moral of the story? And he's basically like, there is no moral.
I'm a pedophile, bitch.
Literally. No, he also has a weird arc in the story where the dad is a cop who threatens to rape him at gunpoint in the house that he caught him.
What has KRS-One been through is the real question.
What has he done?
What has he done?
What has
he done?
What has he
I
put
said to
other
Zach,
people through?
Yeah.
I said to Zach, this song, he does this
So
again.
you gotta be fucked up.
He does the cautionary tale, moral of the story thing, but this song is written and structured as if that first verse was him being genuine, and then he stopped himself and he said, maybe that's too honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't want to, these are some good bars. I got to save these bars somehow.
The beat is really interesting sounding.
How can I make this work? I'll just say it's a fictional. I'll take it to the extreme so it doesn't seem. That's what it felt like.
Mm-hmm.
That song is that's sunken cost fallacy in a song. That's what that is. That's like,
right.
That's what I just described.
Better take this shit all the way.
I got it. I can't.
And then I became Stephen Paddock and went to the.
Do you notice too this through line of him doing this thing in that interview where he's like, well, even if you did know, right? And then even in the song, he's like, even if I did get locked up,
It was still good.
He has this energy to him of like, just like something fucked up and problematic as like, I don't know, bold.
I'm just like questionable guys.
But he's saying it like it's
a lot of questionable
He's
guys.
saying it like it's provocative, like consciously intriguing and provocative. Like, hey, I'm gonna take you for a trip, even if she was underage.
Yeah.
You know it's
hear me out. No, because you're not listening to me.
Right.
You know, everything is like this. Like, no,
but think about it.
She was 13 and the number 13, my brother.
Right. I'm a few levels ahead.
Yeah.
How many apostles were there, my brother? 12?
Eve
no, there
was
were 13,
12
my brother.
when
Right.
when the apple was bitten.
Oh my God.
All of this to say, fuck you, dude.
Bro.
KRS-One.
Fuck you, man. Like, what the fuck? Like,
not only fuck you
I can't believe. Do you remember me in the episode being like, oh, I hope that I wish it was true. I was trying to like in my mind he was still a normal person.
Bro.
I completely forgot about that incident.
I'm like, first of all, fuck you just as an individual, but also fuck you for like making me, in my mind, give Eminem another chance.
Wait, what do you mean?
In this, because he at least like he raps about fucked up shit, but it's clearly like, oh, you didn't really murder your mom, right? It's like clearly not real.
Mm-hmm. Whereas he's just like his lawyer's like, stop.
He's just like, and in that like old rap style, it was like. The day,
the boom bap,
like, come on, bro.
Right.
And the classic, like, hey guys, let me tell you a story about what happened to me.
Yeah, right.
So
there was
weird.
a camera crew that shot that. There was probably dolly tracks
hundreds
laid
of
out.
thousands of dollars, maybe, from a label.
Someone had to like do crafty for that set. Like, it's wild.
There was something else I wanted to say, but
the way you sampled the word "good" too is just like, what are you doing?
Disgusting. Good. Yeah. Oh, what I did want to say is, for those who are unaware, like about the Afrika Bambaataa situation, it's fucking heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when the victims I probably watched it. This was probably when I was in college. So I probably watched it on like World Star Hip Hop or something, and I was like, no way. Yeah. And it was one of his victims like speaking in Harlem, like on the street in public. And he was like crying. Like you could feel the fucking trauma, like radiating from his fucking body. So for this fucking dude, this was fresh when it fucking came out.
Right.
KRS-One went on air and said that. Said, I don't give a fuck. Handle that.
Right.
And this is the same type of person that wants to talk about how hip hop is about community. Right. What the fuck?
Right.
You have to have accountability for there to be community.
Yeah, it's totally.
So for you to, that's personal, and I don't give a fuck. That's crazy.
Right.
That's crazy.
Zero principles.
If you want to keep it hip hop.
And strictly hip hop.
I'm gonna bleep that out. I'm not gonna. I don't want it. No, I don't.
Yeah,
we got.
You don't need that.
I don't need that energy. No.
We got his ass.
But it was like, yeah, I don't know if I have a broader point to make, but
I mean, I guess with the part that stuck out to me, just because I watched a very long video on this, is the
situation with Afrika Bambaataa.
I guess I'm going back to KRS.
They're friends?
What? KRS-One and Afrika Bambaataa?
No, the situation and KRS-One. Dumb joke. Keep going.
Hey, how about?
Wait, what are you referring to?
I was
referring to the cop in the KRS video, the dude threatening to rape him.
Mm-hmm.
I just watched just a very long video. I don't even know if I.
Oh, on the 13 and Good?
On just like the trope of like the rape of males. In men in film, comedy, TV, all of this stuff, just purely to express power dynamics, and with the implicit notion of like, I'm gonna treat you like a woman.
You
know?
Yeah.
it's just there's just a lot.
I'm so sorry. I'm laughing because as you're saying this, I look down on my browser. And you know, like in browsers, it'll like post articles, like suggested articles.
Yeah. It gets me.
I looked down. Inside David Bowie's final years, posted by Rolling Stone 17 minutes ago.
Oh God, dude. Dude, can we talk about the fact that
maybe this is a conversation about rape culture?
I mean, can we talk about the fact that like I was listening to like 5 different people's music, and in one day, basically, I stopped listening to all of them.
That's a good.
Literally, I had to take a poster down. I had a poster in my house. I had to take
Homicide
down.
Gang.
Well, Homicide Gang,
Cardi,
and then there's Cardi, and then apparently Ken Carson has allegations.
Man.
So that's like most of it, and then it's like, yeah, I could listen to Destroy Lonely, but what? All those guys are featured on half the songs, and it's the same label. I'm not gonna fuck. It's like, it's like if everyone in Death Row was in a, you know, and then it was one person. It's like, well,
right.
You know, it's the, you know.
I only listen to dead people right now. Everybody else,
they suck too. I mean, David
Bowie's
always one of them.
But,
but yeah, that shit was just ass. It's just, and, you know.
Yeah.
On that, can I say, I feel like the whole discourse around like who you should and shouldn't listen to like misses the entire.
Yeah,
it's kind of a distraction. Like the point should be around community.
Yeah.
That's what the point should be. That's why it's so profound. It was so profound hearing KRS-One of all people say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This dude who's supposed to represent hip hop community and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
These people that fucking Afrika Bambaataa violated were a part of the community. They were in the community. If I'm not mistaken, they were a part of like his crew, like his
and they probably
circles.
helped break whatever movement of music was happening at the time.
Of
I mean, they're probably
course.
integral in that.
Right.
There were the people at the parties or doing the parties or telling people to come to the parties or being involved in the music somehow.
Right.
There's obviously a layer of the conversation around like, in terms of the broader rape culture discussion around like, oh, you know, holding up individuals that clearly do. And it's like, it's not just an image, it's like has implications in terms of their career, in terms of their own power, their ability to continue to violate and abuse people or abuse their power, of course. But at a certain point, for most people, you don't know any of these people on an individual basis. You're not, you know, you don't have relationships with them.
Right.
So to me, it goes, okay, so what does it mean for where you're at? What does it mean for your community where you're at? You know?
Right.
Like, I don't know. Maybe it's like we have the order of thinking kind of in reverse. Maybe we have to be thinking bottom up in terms of how we cultivate spaces and organizations and institutions and cultures that are radically democratic and transparent, to where these types of characters don't even get to operate.
Yeah. I think what bothers me is I think part of it, there's an implicit understanding that like, how do I even want to phrase this? That that accountability like shouldn't be a thing once you make your way out of these communities. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I guess like success as it stands right now is like has an inherent like there's the getting out of the hood narrative or wherever the fuck, and like once somebody makes it out, that's considered a success story, and those people are in our minds considered untouchable because they're successful. And like once they get to a certain point, it's like if you critique them in any type of way, it becomes, oh, you're like criticizing a successful black man. What have you done?
Right.
You know? And it's like there's kind of an inherent detachment from community entirely, just because people are talking about people who have left their community by nature of what we think success is.
Right.
You know? And
sorry, yeah.
I'm trying to like rein this argument in because I think there's something to it. But it becomes like and then once you start to critique those people who really, in my mind, are like they're out to the wolves at this point. You know, they're in the public eye. They're not part of the like really on the ground black community. You know what I'm saying? Like R. Kelly is not part of the like he's not part of my community, you know? But people critique him as though he is, or critique you for critiquing him as though he is. And they say, like, I don't want you to critique these people in front of white people. I don't want you to critique these people in this context or that context. And then there's no effort to like rein it back in and say, we are going to critique you in where we're at right here. You know, and we're actually going to hold you accountable where we are. And I think, sorry, I really struggled through that argument, but like, I kind of have like a personal issue with this because I did, I mean, fuck, last episode I told the story about dude trying to stab me over Chris Brown. And then I had a joke about R. Kelly on my special that people kept saying the same shit about, saying like, oh, he wrote this joke for white people, or he did this, or he did that. And there's this like, you try to deflect and say, I don't want to have this conversation out in the open. And then you never make the choice to bring it in and have the conversation in private, you know?
And why? And it's like, why would you, when we live under patriarchal systems that rationalize and excuse this kind of behavior in general, and especially in a black context where a lot of black men are constantly, it's just comparing yourself to what the white men get to do and get away with. That's the metric of what's right or wrong or acceptable. Has nothing to do with like integrity or values or whatever. It's just about that level of power.
It never becomes, I want to set a better example. It just becomes this fucking push and pull, this like of just like, I want the privileges that this person has. Why am I not getting away with the same shit that this person is getting away with? Like every time you talk shit about R. Kelly, somebody's like, well, Harvey Weinstein didn't go to this or didn't go to that. It's like, do you just want to be able to abuse people to the same capacity?
What are we talking? It's like, what are we talking about?
Chris Brown put up pictures of like white abusers, like celebrities on his story,
and
it was
a perfect thing to bring up.
And it was from a list that included him in it. He just skipped over himself.
He's like, because y'all been giving me shit for this for a mistake I made when I was 17, even though there are way more recent incidents.
Oh, it's like every year.
It's every fucking year.
You hear something all the time.
That's
the misconception.
The thing that while you were talking, that I remembered was like, to me, it's like where this whole conversation, like all these points converge. It was like Immortal Technique did this interview years ago where they like asked him about the Afrika Bambaataa situation. And he was like, I defended the victims from the beginning. And he sort of made the point of, I fucking still live in Harlem. I walk out and I see these, I'm still here. I didn't fuck off to Beverly Hills or wherever. And he's like, no disrespect to anyone who does that, but like, I'm still here. I know these people, you know? So he's like, so there's no like disconnect.
Community.
I'm in community. There's no disconnect for me on this.
These are my neighbors.
Right. But like, that's the takeaway to me. It's like, so I do think with individuals who have so much power and influence and who do these things, it is worth looking at them and analyzing what happened, but only in so much as it serves our ability to fight back against certain tendencies and certain power dynamics where we're at in our community, chosen community, neighborhood, however you want to, you know, wherever your community is. You know, but I think it gets so, like when we're just talking about who should be canceled and who shouldn't, and that's where that's like it's just a cycle of that. It's like we're not
like
really getting
just pull up examples of shit all day.
We're not getting to anything constructive, and it's also making it this hyper individualistic thing, and this also even people might find this provocative what I'm going to say, but like making it like a moralistic like personal choice, consumerism choice decision thing. Like, ooh, who are you listening to, you know, when no one's around, you know? Who's your guilty pleasure, problematic listen? It's like, Can we have a?
It's kind of perverse. It's like literally like it's literally like gamifying it.
Oh yeah.
It's also my big issue that I run into is like you also it necessitates like quantifying all of these fucking crimes or all these things and weighing them against each other.
Yeah, like ranking them.
Yeah, ranking them and like trying to get perfect parity of fucking criminal behavior.
I do think this is an outgrowth of like Judeo-Christian like religious orthodoxy, just to be clear. I think that part,
sins and shit.
Right, and then it blends with like capitalism.
Oh yeah,
but like
it's
that's
the same logic, like,
right?
Kind of like programmed in. I also think just in general, like one thing I think is worth like considering is like when you hear about these artists and like this horrible shit they do, even if you're some dumbass like 16-year-old and you change your profile picture to Cardi's mugshot and like you're like arguing online that it's okay, be real with yourself and like how numbing and sad it is to hear that, honestly, deep down, like how disappointing that is to hear. And like consider that like, and then you just fucking move on and then you're just numb to it. And it's like, you didn't really ever know these people to begin with. These are just symbols and images and artists that are like that are just distractions in your fucking life. Like they have no real life bearing on your life. None of these people do.
Right.
And it's like, you know, it kind of makes you wonder, like I don't know. I also think people I think there are like artists or just heroes in general from many cultures that are like embedded in the community of that. Yeah. And I think just a lot of people don't have the imagination of that being more pervasive. And I don't know.
I mean, this is where the argument comes in of like why there shouldn't be heroes, why there shouldn't be cult of personality, there shouldn't be these things to begin with. And that's how we
crave it. We crave those things though. Like we're constantly ready to just have a character of the day on fucking Twitter.
We love a
TikTok
good story. Humans love a good story. They love a good mythos.
Little protag.
I was literally thinking about that earlier today. Especially literally as I was going for a walk, I was thinking about it sort of in the context of like when I sort of reach out to different artists like all around the world to like do certain things that have to do with things beyond individuals. Like it's going to institutional or organizational. It still impacts them, but they can't really see it. And like how they're not as engaged or like interested. But then as soon as it's like something like revolving around me specifically, like something in my particular life path, or like there's some type of attractive update, they're like, it's like white on rice. Like they're there and they're interested. And I was thinking about that, like, oh wow, like people love like a hero's journey. They love like a rags to riches. That does so much more than like, it's maybe because it gets too abstract for
I'm a sucker for it too. I mythologize everything. I like, this
you get
whole,
what I'm saying,
this
by
whole
the way,
Brendan
right?
Fraser shit is driven by us just being like, let's fucking go. Come on,
everything's symbolic to
have
me,
the fucking comeback. Like it's the whole spin on fucking everything.
Right.
It makes you wonder. It's like, where's our imagination in a post-scarcity sort of like scenario and situation? Are we still invested?
Where's our creative productivity going? What's it going towards? Instead of making fucking fan cams of like fucking pop stars, what's it going towards?
Right.
Like because it's also like what the field, like the box, everything, like literally everything is in that affects this too. Like if you take that out, you know what I mean?
Right. You know what I think is at the center of it is we're talking about a fundamental shift where people actually holistically internalize what it means to serve themselves.
Right.
To serve themselves with other people, obviously, but like there's a consumerism, a passivity, even a hopelessness that fuels the obsession with these individual sort of like saviors or demigods or whatever. If you can create that space and that culture, that subculture where people are sort of like, they have the time and space to literally just actually think about themselves and how to actually make their own lives better, and even go beyond that. Now my incentive is I want to make other people's lives better. Right. That's what fuels me, and it'll fuel me more than any sort of like accolades or praise and worship for some individual ever could. It's like an endless thing, because it's like your pleasure, other people's pleasure. You know,
I've been sitting here trying to formulate this thought, but I was just thinking about how different art would be if it was directed internally, like in an intimate way toward your community, because there is so much that just is like just outward into the ether, just for whoever will grab onto it. It's not for anybody that you know. And I'm thinking about this because I was like, I saw one of those like instructional TikToks, but it was somebody that I knew, and I realized those things are so. You don't even think you don't think
came
about
across a how-to TikTok and it was somebody you knew.
Yeah, and you don't think about how weird it is until you see a familiar face
That's
doing
the most
it, and
modern
you're like,
human interaction.
Like, where you're just like,
you're using it but this is helpful as fuck.
Right, this is super. But like, it just really struck me like this is such a weird behavior and like a weird way of speaking, right, that is only striking me because I'm so familiar with this person's normal voice, you know? Just like how
the vlogger voice.
I'm like, how different would everybody's art be if you were actually like accountable to the people around you?
I mean, all the greatest art of like all time is just like someone painting their fucking leaves in their backyard, like literally, right, like French motherfuckers.
But like, if I knew my neighbors were gonna see my stand up and be like, "Hey man, what was that?"
I gotta cut in here so on the point of vlogging meeting cult of personality. I want to pull something up for you all.
People always ask, what did Michael Jackson smell like? Well, he smelled like this. I don't know the name, but I'll put it down. But it smells like vanilla, baby powder, and mandarin.
It smells like vanilla.
Oh, get this!
Just to be clear, have been saying this for years.
That it smells like vanilla.
Always ask, what did Michael Jackson smell like? Well, he smelled like this. I don't know the name, but I'll put it down. But it smells like vanilla, baby powder, and mandarin.
How are there only 353 comments? There should be at least 10 times that.
People always ask. Listen.
People always ask, what did Michael Jackson smell like? Well, he smelled like this.
It's just funny because I don't know where he's from, but he's doing a he's powering through that accent to get to the the essence of Michael Jackson.
It's like a transatlantic accent.
People always ask, what did Michael Jackson smell like? Well, he smelled like this. I don't know the name, but I'll put it down. But it smells like vanilla, baby powder, and mandarin.
That'd be a fire like text ringtone.
So
that whole thing played.
Y'all like randomly hear me say, people always ask. He's doing Michael Jackson's soft-spoken voice. But there's a whole crop of these characters on TikTok. Yeah. Like they're Michael Jackson impersonators, super fans, and they like embody his like voice, his image. There's like singers who can do like perfect impersonations of like his singing voice. It's so weird and depressing.
It's bizarre.
Yeah. Terrifying.
You're talking about Michael Jackson's cologne in his voice, but you're doing it casually like it's your voice. People always ask, what did Michael Jackson smell like?
You sound like if Michael Jackson was from New Orleans. Like if he was like a Cajun gentleman.
Vanilla, baby powder, and mandarin.
Mandarin.
People always say Michael Jackson had a penis shaped like a barber pole.
People always ask,
Had sprinkles on it.
They could identify where the marks were on his penis.
He had a little bit of. It was a
When
little
he
bit
was,
of.
you know what I'm talking about?
There's a little bit of glitter on it. Some
No,
hair.
what you mean? What do you mean?
A couple of balls.
When he was doing when they were doing the investigation, the deposition, the kids, his victims could describe his genitalia to the police.
God, I don't.
Bro, it's fucked up.
Have you seen the?
Isn't that's where
have
the
you seen the
joke comes
Chappelle?
from?
Have you seen the Chappelle Show sketch though?
What?
The Chappelle Show sketch.
That's Chappelle's barber
where he's
pole
like-
joke.
I know that's what you're talking
He's
about.
like,
I didn't know what.
he's like, I could describe Michael Jackson's penis.
That he's
Oh, yeah.
referencing that though.
Let me
Right,
guess.
right.
Let me guess. It's a little glitter, some hair, couple of balls. He's like, that is correct.
People always ask.
People always ask.
Always ask. The other thing that I wanted to talk about, I noticed when we were talking about Digimon, and I guess it was before this last Fragments drop, you mentioned seeing Angela Anaconda before the movie played.
Yeah.
I used to watch that show as a kid.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't sure the way you said it. I didn't know if you just didn't. It was like this thing called Angela Anaconda.
Oh no. I knew about it. I think that was the.
My name is Angela. Hey, hello. No, you don't know Angela Anaconda?
No.
It was like a.
She sounds like a crazy.
Welcome
to
my
very own show.
It was like a Canadian
introduce
show.
my
I
friends
hated,
to
I hated
you.
so much.
What's that name?
I hated
It's
so
the
much.
Nan Ninny Poo.
I hate that this is also a vivid memory for you.
I used to watch this shit all the time
Yo.
on ABC Family. I believe it was.
Yeah, no,
I'm afraid.
It's creepy as fuck.
do not
Oh,
like
no.
that show.
I'm trying to pull some shit up right now.
My name is Angela. Hey, hello. Welcome to my very own show.
Oh
First of
no,
I hate
no.
this so much.
Oh wait.
Oh, it's Minnie Pooh.
Yeah, I do remember this fucking Modest Mouse ass fucking animation.
Yo, I hate this shit.
Just squawking and singing flat the whole time.
And now to today's story, starring me and not starring Nanette Memoir.
Aesthetics are fire.
Written by Dan Harmon.
Yeah,
Cool.
I don't like it.
Good for you, dude.
That's cool. That's a cool memory.
Yeah.
You got some
Yeah.
paper cutout animation tunes deep hardwired into your brain.
Dude, Trish was showing me all these fucking like old CG, like the Polar Express Monster House kind of sphere of everything.
Paranorman.
Yeah,
Paranorman,
well, what is it? Moms need Mars. Mars needs Mars. Mars needs moms. Mars needs moms. Biggest flop Disney's ever had.
Oh,
and the
word.
animation's crazy. I
Wait,
wanna do
what's the
so
name?
much acid and
What's
watch
the
it.
name of it?
What?
What's
Mars needs moms. I think.
What?
Mars needs moms.
You saying Mars needs?
That would be the hardest movie to make because
That
constantly
is
saying
horrible. I mean, that's fuck up number one.
It's
of why
literally a
that
tongue twister.
Why
Mars
that
needs
film?
moms.
You
Mars
made the
needs moms.
title
Mars
of the
needs moms.
film a tongue twister.
2 tickets for Mars needs moms.
Oh, it came out in 2011, starring
Marcy's
Seth
Moms?
Green.
Yeah, and Seth Green plays a child in it, but they have
nice.
they have it him looking like
This
himself.
looks
as the child.
horrific, by the
Hey,
way.
the name's Mars needs moms.
This looks
I work at the bank.
absolutely horrific, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on with
Oh,
that hair?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, and the design of the women Martians.
Disgusting.
You're gonna want to see that. You're gonna want to see that.
no.
It's
I mean-
some crazy fucking deviant art shit going on.
What
Yeah.
in the ever loving fuck is this?
No. What the Whoa.
Oh my god! Wow!
Take it in.
Wow! Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
So we imagine like ants, but they're human.
Fuck Woody Allen. All right.
my
Yeah, fuck that. I'm not talking about that.
Fuck Alec. He's gonna kill somebody.
You put a human skin on an ant, an
Right.
ant's silhouette. That's what they look like.
Stretch it over.
I mean,
an
I
ant's face.
trust me, guys. I've been thinking about this for a long time.
This is gonna sell like gangbusters. I'm telling you.
What?
You should look up the promotional material for this. It's literally the most frightening shit you've ever fucking seen. It's like, if you put it up, it would be like
48 million miles from home.
Welcome to Mars.
What is going on?
Mars needs moms. The aliens are stealing them from Earth to raise their own kids.
One Earthling has one night
Less than 7 hours?
to save Earth's most valuable resource.
I'm just trying to find my mom. She's the one that feeds me. She vacuums the house. Come on.
Connor,
What ethnicity is this man supposed to be? Is this
I
creature
didn't
supposed to
discover
be?
this.
what
I
in
didn't
the
discover this.
absolute ever-loving
fuck
fuck
was
is
that?
this?
Trish showed me this.
Yo.
Oh my God.
What's up with his tooth? Is that a tooth? Is it safe to call that a tooth?
That's a singular tooth.
That's like
But
4 or 5
you know what's-
teeth.
Wow. That's
Imagine
like a,
you know what's fucked
pitching
up?
that.
You know
that's like a
what's fucked up?
hoof on a
Right.
What's
so
fucked up?
his teeth or his tooth. Excuse me. I'm still trying to piece it together, but I promise you it's good.
right.
It's one tooth, right? It's like a shield.
Okay, what's fucked up though is you can see the lines from where there were other teeth. You can see it faintly.
Natty dread. I mean, that's what that too. Why he got dreads?
I just
You feel
I
it
dread
in the
like
one.
Congo bongo. I.
You feel it in the one drop.
So they're like, they're totally they're aliens, but they're from Jamaica. Hear me out.
Oh my god.
They're Rastafari aliens on Mars.
This is some dog shit. Why did Disney make this? What the fuck? And this is like motion capture shit. Like so the animation. Imagine this,
So
but like human.
So these
speed.
people had no idea they were gonna look like this.
I mean, yeah, right. Like, oh my god.
I would be so embarrassed.
Oh
like,
my
what
God.
the fuck?
Mars needs moms.
Mars needs moms.
S
It
is
really
on
rolls
every-
off the tongue.
Yeah.
Okay. As bad as this
Mars
is,
needs
It's
moms.
time to go to the Wikipedia and see how this shit performed.
okay, hold
just
on.
wait.
Wait.
Just wait.
Let's see what they put into this motherfucker.
As bad as this is,
Whoa! They took a major L. You ready for this?
Oh, God.
You ready for this?
It's
yeah.
so funny.
Oh yeah.
They put 150 mil in, right?
Oh.
How much? They put getting to $250 million,
Like,
a billion on this. 150 mil.
no.
You want to know how much they made?
I sure do.
39.2 million.
oh my
Yo.
god.
Do they have a reception?
Oh
Let me
my
see
God.
what
Oh,
they
it's
said
the
here.
biggest flop I think Disney's ever had.
Wow.
Apparently. Yeah.
That's worse than
my
was Kevin
God.
Spacey's last movie, Billionaire Boys Club.
Yeah, it's definitely that movie probably did not cost 150.
I think that one made like 2,500 or some shit. It was crazy.
Oh my god.
Mars Needs Moms was a box office disaster and the worst financial loss for a Disney branded film.
Yeah.
Oh my
It grossed $1,725,000 on its first day, and its opening weekend earnings added up to $6,825,000.
How did it even get to 39?
Overall, the film debuted in 5th place behind Battle, Los Angeles, Rango, Red Riding Hood, and The Adjustment Bureau.
Oh my god.
This is the 22nd worst opening ever
saw
for
The
a film
Adjustment Bureau.
playing in 3,000 plus theaters.
It's insane. Dude,
Adjusted for inflation, considering the total net loss of money, not the profit to loss ratio, it is the 4th largest box office failure in history.
wow. Wow.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Someone needs to interview Seth Green about this movie. We need to get some intel on this movie.
As bad as that is, I can show y'all something also set on Mars. Way worse. And if you're ready for it, way more racist.
Oh, I had a feeling it was going
gonna
there.
Look, that's the precedent that was set in the discourse.
Yeah. They got the dreads. Look, they're primitive. They got that going. Yeah.
Have y'all heard of Terra Formars?
Yes.
Did this come out in the 80s?
No.
Oh.
This is like this was like 2000s.
Terraform Mars with an A.
Oh, because I'm getting the game.
Yeah. No, it's
like
I think
TERRA.
Japanese.
I think people who are watching have heard me say this and they already know what the fuck
I think
it
I
is.
know what this is. It's black, but they're like ants. Like they're depicting black
Oh, is
people
this
as
an
these
anime?
fucked up ants.
Even worse.
Or roaches.
The roaches.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, this
It
is like
takes place on
disturbing.
Mars?
It's
like literally it's disturbing.
I think I've seen this and it is very disturbing.
Yeah.
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 I don't even. It's like one of those things where I don't even know.
Jamie, could you pull that up? Jamie,
I'll pull up one, but
hey, Jamie, pull
Connor
up
can't laugh. He can't even react to it.
Jamie, could you
plug
pull
your
up
ears
Terra
up.
Formars?
Close your eyes.
I'm just gonna go to Toy Story mode. Yeah, that's.
You gotta be like really sick to like.
It's pretty.
This is.
It's not like one character either. They went like, let's make it the whole thing.
It's the whole thing, and that's the most tame.
Oh yeah,
image.
I purposely. Yeah, I chose the most tame image.
Yeah, but look,
I remember when I saw this, it just made me feel so many things.
And look, I respect that you did that, but I am editing this episode, and so no. Anybody who's
just
interested,
3-minute montage of a slideshow
just
of it.
Terra Formars. Yeah, anybody who's interested, just Google it.
Wait, so that's supposed to take place on Mars?
It takes place on Mars. Yeah, it's like
This is sick. They made an anime out of this.
Yep, they sure did.
What the fuck are they thinking? Crunchyroll's playing it.
Crunchyroll is playing it.
What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Crunchyroll.
Crunchyroll. What's going on?
Take that shit. Get that shit out of here.
Look in the promotional materials. They like put him in the back. Like,
yeah, right. With all these very deliberately light-skinned people. I won't say white because
racism in the like, I don't know what to call it. Like the otaku weeb. Maybe it's just mostly otaku. I'm thinking about like otaku sort of is. I feel like it's unique. Like it has a unique character to it.
Yeah,
because it's like a mix of like textbook ignorance and like not being aware, and but there's no middle ground. The only other side is like violent racism.
Right.
It's like this, and so you have people that are kind of like, oh, I don't see. They're just trying to like rationalize everything away and explain and make, it's
so
acceptable.
Strange. It's so
and then
strange.
The other side is just they're just racist.
Yeah,
that's what it feels like.
It's so strange because there are people on the internet who can see I remember when like this is a couple years.
And
ago.
Yedoye's talked about this, by the way. Has whole video essays about it.
I've talked a lot about this. And I remember like the video came out of dude on Japanese TV doing blackface, and like a few people were like, hey man, this is fucked up, and like 90% of the people were like, they don't even know what black people are. What do you mean?
What are you talking about? This is how they show their love, and they're showing love and appreciation for the culture.
And it's like, bro, there are so many there are so many bands out there that play black music and call it black music and don't do blackface.
It was jarring when I first, like, I don't know if it was my first year living in Japan, either my first or second year, I like, it was Halloween and it was my first time ever seeing someone in blackface before, like the flesh, like in real life. And it was like, so just like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just weird and bizarre, and obviously makes you feel just like so degraded and like dehumanized. But you're also just like, how did you get there? How did you like, how are you like, I don't know. It's so weird to me.
I saw a clown in blackface in LA one time. He waved at me from a car.
No, but this was a Japanese. I have pictures. I could dig it up on my phone. I was literally just like looking around like, what the fuck?
It's crazy how casual people are with that shit, man.
But I was gonna say he was dressed up like he was clearly supposed to be dressed up like as a black person. Like he was just wearing like normal clothes, and then he had like an afro and then like black face paint on, and then like the red lips and like all of that. And there's like whole groups, like performing groups in Japan today that perform in blackface as well.
Hold me tight. Hold me tight. My little girl.
You want to know a crazy mind fuck?
Yes, I do.
Sure.
Were you waiting for
crazy mind fuck?
Waiting for an answer?
Japanese people were doing blackface in the concentration camps in California. Like they were doing blackface performances like in those conditions.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's like a mind fuck. Like that's why I had to prepare to say
humans
it.
are so fucking weird.
Intersectionality is a motherfucker.
Thank you.
Bro.
This is why just if you haven't done it yet, intersectionality, it won't fail you as a framework. Try it out. Right. Liberals use it to mean everything except class. Take the class component, throw it in there. It's useful. Power. It helps clarify a lot of things. Yeah. Because I can like look at that and I can go, ooh, white supremacy at work on all fronts, right. Colonization of the mind,
right?
The model minority bullshit. I can I can unpack it in that way.
Yeah,
you know.
God,
right.
That's fucking crazy.
It's like intersectionality. If you were to describe intersectionality in a phrase, it would be there's levels to this shit.
Yeah,
literally, there's levels to this shit. Yeah, they getting fucked over, but they like it's somebody beneath them. You feel me? So it's like, what are they doing with their power that they have though? Like,
levels to this.
Right.
But yeah, no, I had that same the way y'all just reacted. Like when I found it, I didn't find it through an article. I didn't find it through. There was no write up. I was literally looking through like I don't know if it was Getty Images or like I was literally looking through like archives from the camps.
Yeah.
Oh my
and
God.
just scrolling through and then saw it.
Jesus.
And I was like,
you stumbled across this?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Crazy.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And
holy shit. I don't know how well known it is that occurred.
Yeah.
Like,
I've never heard that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy that like there are so many people, this is such a common thread that people would hear that and immediately use it to demonize Asian people, or I guess in this case Japanese people, just whole cloth across the board.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that trend is growing right now. Not even specific to Asian people. There is that trend, but it's like just across the board. It's happening with Jewish people, Asian people, just any non-black group of people. Actually, it's across the board. I'm not. It doesn't even have to be specific to non-black people, but everybody's just so quick to say like why should I support this group of people when they did this to black people? Right. They do this to my people, and it's just like there's just so much of that going on, and I don't even have a broader point. I feel like it's just just embarrassing, you know, to keep letting ourselves fall into that trap. You know? The
dichotomy trap. That's what it is. It's the categorical thinking and then dichotomies.
Right.
So you're not able to like take in the holistic, literally the levels to this shit, and then get a clear picture about how we can like move forward together.
Right.
But like, I also wanted to say on this point, like, this is why I would really hope non-black people can like empathize and understand why a lot of black people are just done dealing with or just uncomfortable doing anything with people who aren't black.
Yeah.
Because you look at the evidence and you look at history and you go, oh, there's consensus of hatred within every sort of like non-black culture, even people with black skin, like in the Desi community. Yeah. Your skin's darker than mine, but I'm like trash to you, you know? So it's like, I would hope more people could like understand from that perspective and that point of view. That also like leads to like a baseline discomfort a lot of black people are gonna have doing things with someone who isn't black, because you're just like, I don't know what the fuck is going on in this person's head.
Right.
Like even if they want to be like a good person or like nice to me or whatever, like I don't know.
There's so many.
That subconscious conditioning. I don't know what the fuck they're really like thinking. You know. You feel like you can't really trust it.
Right.
Well, it's just like if you're more aware of just like how early the conditioning starts, you basically have that presumption, you know, like I don't know. I also feel like the same goes for like women and men too. Like I don't blame any women that are just like literally just done with men.
Yeah.
Stop giving them chances.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't want to operate with them. I don't blame that either. It's like,
why risk anything?
It's just insane.
Even if it's
like,
just disappointment. Why?
Yeah. Right.
Why put myself through that?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, to reiterate, like, it's frustrating because I have a lot of people. I'll say a lot of people with our like shared values and like politics, they don't like to use the word, maybe not a lot, but a considerable amount of people don't like to use the word intersectionality because they feel like it's been co-opted.
Sounds like really clinical and
or just that it's been co-opted. I think I'm co-opted. I mentioned that Amazon like said intersectionality like on their website or something at some point.
Right.
But like the foundations, the roots are just in the same shit that Bell Hooks was talking about, even what Murray Bookchin was fucking talking about.
Right.
It's just it's power and power around not just identity but class, like material things too. When you look at all of that, you can look at each individual person and see a complex matrix of factors that make up who they are.
Right.
And so then you can take into account and sort of like balance all of these different things, especially like in an organizational context, and be like, oh, it makes sense that this is happening or that this person is in this space now because they have more access here. This person has less access here.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
It's also like crazy how like white supremacy is kind of like it goes downstream, like it affects all these different things in these different directions and kind of like splits up and like branches out and shit.
That's why I love the description of like when people say the white man in your head or the cop in your head or the boss in your head, because it is systems that we're talking about here. Right. It's not we're not talking about we're not talking about things at an individual level. But in terms of your own conditioning, the conditioning that all of us have, regardless of our identity, we all have this sort of conditioning.
Right.
Yeah. It helps you to sort of like understand it more of like, oh, why did I think that? Or why did I assume that?
Right.
Where's that voice coming from? And then you can like tie it to the system. And then when you're like, okay, the system, okay, how do these social systems of domination concretely manifest themselves in my life and in the work that I'm trying to do? And then that's where I feel like you start having a practical, concrete sort of like conversation.
Yeah. And it's, I think maybe a good time to say like, it's helpful to like reorient your mind just away from like justice, equality and all these things and toward just freedom.
Yeah. Freedom.
Just face value, just freedom.
Because they're not the same thing.
Yeah.
Right.
And
they're not the same thing. This is relevant. Thank you for bringing this up. This is relevant literally to the top of the discussion.
Exactly.
The KRS-One thing.
Like it doesn't have to be this like tug of war of like who gets to be on top, you know? And it happens with white supremacy, but you also see it happening with patriarchy, where you got the whole girl boss dynamic, where a lot of people's idea of feminism is just subverting the same dynamic and having women on top. And that's not, you know, it might be fun for a little bit for you, I don't know, but like it's not going to solve anything in the long run.
Right.
And the same is true for white supremacy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. I wrote a joke that I don't know if I'll ever use it, but just like, I think it would be real funny to just walk up on stage and be like, hey, you ever notice how they, it's fuck capitalism now that black people got a piece, and then wait for people to applaud and be like, that is a stupid thing to say, what I just said. You know? It's just like, it's fun to play with people's expectations, you know? But yeah, just so many people fall into that trap of just, I mean, we already said it, but just like trying to get what white people have rather than trying to get what we want, you know?
Can I speak to the justice thing on that point?
Yeah.
Because I would define people conflate justice and freedom. To me, justice that's just the administration of some sort of law or authority. And under capitalism in the state, it's clear who is administrating that.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, it's kind of like, it's speaking after the fact. There's nothing like preventative. It's just like some people you can interpret it and twist it to mean like, oh, real justice would be these crimes never occurring. But in a concrete sense, when we're talking about justice, we're talking about like righting a wrong, right? And I feel like in the context of North America, going back to the Judeo-Christian roots thing, there is also this like, it's the administration of law and authority intertwined with a shame and guilt, right?
Yeah.
Thing too. So it's not just like, it's not, which sure, whatever. Like some people might think like that's cool, but for me, it distracts from, it's just there's a catharsis in it, especially living under the systems that we're in, but it distracts from what would be a solution in a truly communal and democratic context, which would be healing for everyone. That's actually what would lead to the solution solving and preventing what happened to begin with, right?
For a concrete example, for anybody who's still not clear, justice would be, maybe just imagine every time a black person gets shot by the police, we protest for a little bit, and then they get a $3 million payout to the family. And then you ask yourself every time, I guess I'm not out in the streets anymore, but it still doesn't feel right. And now we just put a price on this person's head.
Let's go even.
I mean, and so it gets to a point where, like, if you follow to that to its logical conclusion, why didn't we just go to the family and offer them $3 million to kill that person? You know, is it not the same thing? Are you not just buying a person's life? You know, it amounts to putting a price on people's lives, on people's bodies, on people's freedom, on just piecemeal. You know, it's quantifying humanity in a way that I don't think people really have a grasp of when they go out in the streets and ask for justice or equality. You know, like, equal to what? What are you talking about?
The money point is super relevant on the private, prison industry.
Yeah.
On conversations around the death penalty, they're like, oh, it's taking from our tax dollars to keep them from sitting there rotting in jail.
Exactly.
We got to take them out.
I mean, bro, there was a clip I think I mentioned after the Tyree Nichols incident. There was a clip of a cop talking about what's more expensive. Is it more expensive to kill a man or to injure him and have to take care of him for the rest of his life?
Right.
You know?
Right.
So why not just kill him if you can just give a quick $3 million payout to the family, as opposed to $3 million a year for the rest of his life? You know? But that's justice.
And I'm gonna say I think that's brilliant through the monetary lens, the financial lens. Let's go to a dark ages hypothetical here. Let's say a cop, every time a cop kills a black person, they get to kill the cop. We go eye for an eye. Every time they kill somebody, we get to kill a cop or whatever, or they get put on death row. However you want to frame it. It's the same function. The same function is happening. Nothing actually interrogates the systems that allowed the cop to kill this unarmed black person.
Yeah. What was that? The shit from Debt, from Gabriel, where he was talking about how they were trying so hard to quantify how much it would cost to if you accidentally killed somebody's bee or some dumb shit like that.
That's what the system does.
That's what it does.
That's what the system does.
Literally quantifies every single human action, to try to reach some type of
everything.
Yeah, it tax every single thing.
Taxes.
Quantify every action and try to reach complete parity in a system that we can't even comprehend.
Right.
We can't grasp all of the potential things that could happen, but we're trying to put price tags on all of them.
We don't even know what value is yet.
Right. We don't know what the fuck
we don't even know
is.
what that means.
We don't even know what knowledge is.
Right.
Knowledge.
My Lamborghini here.
Right.
The
Hollywood Hills.
Lamborghini.
Yeah. Look at all these books.
All right. Knowledge.
It's better than
my
Lamborghini.
I love Ty Lopez. I love that guy. Can we pull up Trump at that one speech where I don't even remember where he was talking. Probably like in South Carolina or
you gotta give me details for me to find
can
this.
you pull up Trump
speech?
Can you pull up Trump speech recent.com?
Oh, I think I know the one you're talking
the
about.
one with the hell like
where he's
clips.
like, there's two N-words we
Yeah.
don't say. Nuclear, and the other one I don't have to say it. You know what it is. I don't even have to say it.
Nuclear is so devastating that we don't even want to talk about it. And that was a word that was never supposed to be mentioned. You have two N-words, neither of which should ever be mentioned. I said that once. I said, oh, what a terrible thing to say. No. You have two N-words. You know what the one is, but the other is the nuclear word. Not supposed to ever be mentioned. Ever, ever, ever. It's mentioned every single day now. Every single day they talk about, will this end up in nuclear war? We're on the precipice of a disaster, the likes of which this world has never seen. This will make World War I and World War II like baby stuff.
But my father said it a lot.
Also,
we should have just someone bring it up in post because I don't know how I'm going to find that.
Oh
I got
my
it.
God.
They say you should say nuclear. Nuclear. Gets it up.
Yeah.
That's how Bush said it. I just don't say it. I just avoid it. Sorry.
Only when I'm rapping, I say nuclear. Nuclear.
No, I wanted to say though on that conversation, I don't necessarily want to try and like get into a full-fledged discussion of it now, just because it's such a broad and dense topic. But like, it is relevant in terms of like the prison conversation, and the policing conversation. You know, because you have people that will obviously go, all right, sure. No state. Fine. I'll give you that. There's no state. You got what you wanted.
Right.
How are we going to be safe, man? How are we going to be safe?
Right.
Who's going to protect us? You know, what are we going to do? And it's like valid questions and important questions that I don't feel like, a lot of people who say that they're abolitionists and they're against like prison and police. In my experience, I hate to say it, they don't really, and it's on theme for criticisms we've put forward in terms of the so-called left and all of this stuff, but they don't really have a lot of suggestions around like, or even speaking to a holistic imagination around how people might operate around like safety. And like, there's also, I think that's relevant in the sense that people conflate governance with the state.
Right.
Like governance with government.
I mean,
they don't have a conception of what it would mean for a society to be self-organized, meaning people are organizing themselves. It also makes me think about how cops just don't even fucking do the job that they fucking claim that they're doing anyways. Right. They're not protecting, it's like, how many times are people in the community solving crimes and like finding out who did what first, or trying to take preventative measures when the state, the cops get in the way of that,
Yeah.
I'm just saying that to say like, I don't doubt our self-governance potential, even as it relates to our the means by which we protect ourselves.
Well, on the protection point, it's like, wouldn't you just be better off organized anyways from a protection standpoint? Like,
right.
Wouldn't that just benefit you probably? Like,
no, need daddy.
Yeah, I mean, it's like,
it's like daddy.
You're just asking basically a giant like robot to basically like protect you. That you
automated,
assume,
not automated.
That you assume it's like a
Well,
giant like fucking RoboCop mech that could just turn to you and blast you away anytime it wants, and you're just praying it doesn't. It's like,
Connor, what you're not understanding is, I think what we need for protection is a guy with a gun who's not here yet. That's what we need.
I mean, here's the deal. This country's probably there's a north of 70% chance this country's literally going to be a fascist superpower within X amount of years due to
shit is
to
starting.
climate and shit.
Right.
So you can fucking Yeah, you can trust the police, or you can trust the people.
And our potential to build the capacity to actually be organized, because we're not. Yeah. And I think that obviously can't be left out of the conversation. Yeah. There is no like counter-hegemonic, directly democratic self-organization happening at this massive scale within North America, you know? And I do think that's important to note, because if there is a power vacuum in this country as it stands now, people like us are fucked. It's relevant. It's like really important to think about, especially for the abolitionists and the people that people like us who are anti-state and anti all of these systems. Something has to be cultivated, and enough of something has to develop in order to stand as an alternative that can counter the logic of the state. And it has to account for all of these different things around public safety, health. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. You know?
I don't know, bro. I think I'm good.
Oh, no.
No, but
no. You rascal.
Oh, look at
you rascal, you.
And that's called a callback, folks.
Yeah.
That's what that is. Comedy 101.
Well, this has been
No,
this has been a chuckle fest so far, I gotta say.
Is that just a check-in?
This has just been a barrel of chuckles so far, hasn't it?
You know, talking about all these things really leaves me with one central question. And I feel like people watching know what it is, which is, I just gotta ask, what did Michael Jackson smell like? Did he smell like vanilla?
I don't like that pronunciation of vanilla like that.
Baby powder? Mandarin? What did he smell like?
I just don't like it.
Vanilla?
People always ask.
Oh, God.
Man, we went from blackface to... Man, we just went all across the spectrum.
I'm bummed.
Yeah.
Bummed out. It's good. We addressed some issues today. Got to the
Angela Anaconda. I mean, who's talking about Angela Anaconda?
Who's talking about that Dimitri Martin ass looking show? Fucking arts and crafts looking at.
Dimitri Martin?
He's the guy who like draws shit with both hands, and that's comedy.
He's a comic.
Sorry,
that sounds so whack. That sounds so trash.
I don't.
He's a good comic.
Oh, he is? Then I take that back. You're cool.
Nah, I mean, I don't know. He is, but he's a good comic. But I just remember when he had that Comedy Central show. It's just like,
oh, brother, here he comes with the markers again.
These fucking cutesy ass skits and shit. God damn it.
No, you draw two things. Cool.
Yeah.
I did want to circle back to the Breaking Bad discussion, because we were talking about Breaking Bad. I've been moving my way through Breaking Bad, and I was telling you, Yedoye and Connor, I had to stop at the top of season 4 because it was giving me crazy anxiety.
Bitch.
It was killing me. It was stressing me the figgity fuck out. And the point that I made is that this has to be the darkest TV show ever made, because it's not like The Sopranos where you can just sort of laugh because it's a crew of psychopaths and they have funny Italian accents and it's basically a dark comedy. No, these are real people that fucked up so hard. Not just that, they keep fucking up. They keep digging the knife deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper until the point that they turn into sociopaths.
But what about when we couldn't catch that fly, Mr. White? What about the fly, Mr. White?
You know, it's like
this is a contamination.
You know, it's like
if we don't get this
buzzing and shit.
It's flying all
Oh my god! Oh my god! I literally the whole show I've been wondering, did they write that in or did he add? I'm saying the and shit. You know, like the intentionally dumb. No, I'm not talking about the pronunciation. I'm talking about the writing, like him and shit. You know, it's just like
I feel like all that shit was written.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Me too. That's what I'm betting on. But it's
I think Vince Gilligan was like, no, do that again.
Yeah. I don't know how much of that is improvised or how much of that is just sticking with the script, because
I have no idea.
Jesse's friends are all like read hard off the script. They're like, yeah, I can get you a fucking look, what did he say? I can get you an RV. Let's go.
Yeah.
I was literally reflecting on when I said, "Oh, it's not like it doesn't feel like a TV show," and you're like, "Are you sure about that?"
Right.
It was too early. I didn't get to those those characters. That's the most TV ass
I
shit.
love Combo, bro.
What did you say you're making?
Oh yeah, I love Combo too.
He's always like,
no, I love the scrawny one with the beanie on. That's my favorite one.
Man, he's just so
it's like shooting a baby in the face, man. It's not so easy when they're
honestly,
trying to
Badger. That guy, fucking just his voice, it bothers me too much. I'm just like,
is that his name,
get some
Badger?
water. Yeah. What's
no, the guy that talks like this.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's like,
no.
It's like, I want to watch porn in 3D.
You don't think we can get a little hit, man? He's so annoying. He's like somehow manages to be more annoying than Jesse Pinkman.
I love Jesse's like lame kickback parties
with chips
and like a disco ball.
Let's not spoil too much. Let's not spoil too much. But we should talk about.
I just bought the place.
We should talk about Gus.
Oh yeah, it's the fire character.
Because I was saying I love what's his name?
Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah, my favorite performances in the show are from Aaron Paul and him.
Yeah.
And I was saying I picked up. I can't go into the specifics, but
you watch.
There's little details in his mannerisms that he takes on for this character that are so like the fact that he thought of that. You're like, wow. The intention and just like the performance itself, the execution of the performance itself is just so, every little subtlety in his face and posture. It's really impressive.
It's
Again, I'm like, how much of that do you think was him coming to the writers with notes or just like pre-written?
I definitely think he developed that character, the actual performance.
Yeah.
I feel like on the screen in the screenplay it was really cold. Everything just comes across as cold. And I feel like he brought the rest of that sort of picture to the character.
There was a little bit of like professional kind of like,
they probably told him that. They probably went professional. He's a straight man. And then he
but
took
he's
that.
warm. There's a warmth.
Right.
There's a brightness.
He probably took that and then came up with that sort of that delivery, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
And with Aaron Paul, I was just gonna say with Aaron Paul, just his emotional, the emotional scenes are just so
gets that vein.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
He literally
actor.
makes me feel emotions watching him. Very few actors will do that just by watching.
Yeah.
I'll
feel
say again,
such empathy towards him.
I'll say again, how are Aaron Paul's only big roles in Breaking Bad and BoJack Horseman?
Right. I was saying that's fucked up.
How is he not doing so much more? You know?
Yeah.
I feel like he did it. Was he on Price is Right again? Maybe I'm making that up.
Well, back in the day,
well, he was in a Doritos commercial with fucking.
He was in The Price is Right back in the day.
I'm saying I thought they did a callback to it, but maybe I'm just maybe I'm just imagining that.
Anna Gunn's performance is what I'm really appreciating this time around. Is like how, just like her eyes and her face and just her performance is.
Yeah.
It's so good because it's just a perfect. It's kind of like a perfect. I don't know. It's just you watch him destroying his family in her face. You watch it happen across her face and her disappointment, and her misery.
Right.
It's just incredible. And then also the guy who plays Hank, Dean Norris. Dean Norris. He's fantastic. Like when he starts getting panic attacks and shit.
You know, he went to Harvard and he did like a holistic.
Dean Norris
did a holistic social studies program where he studied. You're literally studying economics, anthropology. You're studying like all of these different sciences. You didn't know this?
No.
Hank Schrader went to Harvard. Holy shit!
Wow. And he's from Indiana.
Wow, I had no idea.
Hank is a big fucking nerd,
dude.
Gummy.
Yeah, gummy.
Gummy.
Yeah. Yeah. He's always in the shit.
You were right. I do love his whole like
Yeah.
his whole like persona. And, like,
And I wish Shania Twain would give me a tuggy.
yeah.
Best line of all time.
Yeah.
He just says that in front of a
Right.
child.
Right.
I haven't seen it in a minute, man. I really want to watch Better Call Saul.
I want to watch that too
like-
because the writing they have for Saul is just top. It's just
Yeah.
the best shit. He's such a well-written character.
Right. Just Bob Odenkirk.
And Bob
is so,
Odenkirk's
like
perfect. And it's like he's
underrated.
in Breaking Bad, and the first time he appears, I feel like he's not quite as confident in the character. He is, but it's like it's not, his performance isn't quite there. Whereas I
Yeah.
feel like now with Better Call Saul, he's like he's such
Yeah.
a better actor than he was back then.
Right.
Which is not like a diss, it's a credit to him.
Well, it's like you get more space when you're the star of the show, you know.
Right.
I've done shit like that where you're just there for a day.
You get more
I don't-
takes. You get
Yeah,
more,
it's like you don't really give a shit. It's not, the stakes don't seem that high.
Right.
And then it's out.
Platforms like YouTube, Patreon, Spotify, they're all ass. They don't respect your privacy, they're riddled with ads, and they're completely silent and unreachable when you need help. Have you ever talked to somebody at YouTube? Think about that. I sure haven't. To top it all off, we don't control them at all, despite being the reason they exist.
So that's why we're partnering with a design and development agency called
400 million D&D.
to build our own cooperative alternatives that bring the best features of all those platforms together and that we can control together too.
We seriously got to have an exodus to some sort of digital Zion that we build ourselves. Somewhere where all of us can actually have a say over the technology that we're using to communicate with each other. For more on how you can support us all in getting off these shitty platforms, visit opencollective.com/digital Zion and tap in.
Just because these dystopian systems are eating themselves alive
doesn't mean they gotta take us with them.
What I like
Yeah.
about the character in the show is that the writers are constantly using his character as a vessel to verbalize different narrative directions that they could have went in. I don't know if you'll probably pick up on this when you're watching. Yeah. They weave it into the dialogue. She's like, well, you could say this and ba 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 ba. And you could say this, but they're sort of flexing. They're like, you thought that's what and you thought that was what, and you thought that no, we're not doing any of that.
Yeah,
here's what he's
that's
going to
a
propose.
fact. That's so true.
Wow.
They do
love
that.
that.
Yeah.
I'm a screenwriter. I pick up on that.
That's what I like. That's what I like about TV, and I'm personally, I'm a lot of people are. I feel like not a lot of people. I feel like it's being well received, but I'm hearing from like people I know mixed reactions, not necessarily negative, but about The Last of Us, mostly around like how entertaining each episode is, or like if there's zombies in it, or if it's fucking whatever. It's just like a mixture of things.
Yeah.
But to me,
We haven't seen. I haven't seen enough zombies.
But to me, I'm like geeked on that show. Like I literally am like, I just love it. I love every single episode. I watched the new one. I'm like,
just love it.
I just love it.
Amazing.
Oh my god! I'm fucking. What's her name
can't get
from
enough
Venture
of
Bros?
It's a
Mrs.
17-year-old love
Monarch, or whatever
story.
the fuck. I just love it. I don't know what to tell you. Those kids at HBO, they do it.
They do it for
They
me.
do it so well. Those writers at HBO.
They do it so well.
Every Sunday, I'm tuned in and just
They canceled every other show, and I don't care. I don't care.
White Lotus. I just can't get enough. I don't
Southside, there's no more, but we've still got
Thank God
Last
Euphoria
of Us.
ended. What a cringe, annoying show that is.
The Last of Us. It's the last of HBO's programming. That's what it is.
It's The Last of Us up at Sunday at 9 p.m. Anyways, but
How many episodes in?
7.
7.
There's 7 episodes.
But that to me, I was just saying about TV writing. A movie can be whatever. For me, I like TV where in this hour you have me. You are going to pay something off. God damn it. You are going to pay something off. And I'm not going to see it coming.
Right.
And Last of Us, even though I've played the fucking game and know the plot, they have managed to captivate me that way.
Yeah.
But Breaking Bad's that way too. And I think all my favorite TV shows are like that. Even Sopranos.
Not wasting my time.
Right. You watch a Sopranos episode, maybe there's not going to be some like, big thing, but like there will be a scene in it that you finish and you're like, that was fucking crazy.
Right.
That was crazy.
Right.
Don't waste my time. That's my big thing. tell the story. Don't waste my time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Because
Breaking
it's
Bad is just, that's a part why I had to stop, because it was literally, it's so, the concentration is so high the entire way,
Right.
that it literally builds up such crazy anxiety as you're and it's like dark. So you're like really feeling it by, I think I mentioned like top of season 4 is when Zach said he had to do the same thing. He stopped maybe at season 4 and then he didn't go back to finish it till like way off, you know, later.
I did do that with Sopranos too. It got literally so dark. I was like, let me just.
I binge watched Sopranos all the way through because I was laughing the whole time.
Yeah,
I literally from the beginning I was like,
there's
I'm not
episodes
gonna.
that are pretty, but just a bummer. I don't know.
Yeah, but I didn't
desensitized at this
empathize
point.
with. I couldn't empathize with. I'm like, they're all probably
The Ralph
racist. So
Cifaretto
they don't.
shit is
They
the
don't.
worst.
They don't
The
see
what?
me. I was gonna say they're probably all racist, so they don't see me as a human. So I'm not engaged there. So all I have left is like it's a bunch of funny. I'm just watching their drama. It's like I'm removed
but
from.
I'm saying like the Ralph Cifaretto episode where he's like beating women to death in the parking lot shit. Like that is like
it's dark.
That's where I'm like, gee, wow.
Have I mentioned to y'all that like I haven't seen all of Sopranos. I watched the first couple episodes. My mom only had HBO in her room. I couldn't do it growing up. But my mom is a Nigerian woman who only likes Italian, like
we talked
film,
hell yeah,
cinema.
Yeah.
Her favorite movie is My Cousin Vinny. Loves The Godfather. Loves The Sopranos. Wow. And this feels fucked up now that I'm saying this. Cooked a lot of spaghetti growing up.
It's like you grew up Italian.
It's like I grew up
That's
a little
kind of
Italian.
that might be a black thing though.
Maybe it's a black thing.
African thing.
Maybe. Did you eat a lot of spaghetti?
Yeah, and it's a thing on TikTok. More black people are talking about it.
Oh, thank God.
It could be
I felt fucked
it
up
could
for
be
a
a poor and working class thing also in general.
That's also
like,
true.
Yeah,
It's
I haven't
very,
looked enough into
very easy to steal.
it. Yeah,
Not that I'm not saying this about all black people. I specifically stole a lot of spaghetti at one point. I used to go
Stealing
to the,
food is
I used to go to
completely
the
ethical.
I used to go to the Ralph's in Glendale, California, and I would load up a grocery cart, $100 worth of groceries. I would walk around for a little bit and then I just walk
bada
out.
bing, bada boom.
Somebody
Bada
told me
yeah.
one time they can't chase you out of the store, and I never Googled it because I can't lose confidence in what I'm doing.
That's right.
So,
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yep.
On Italian representation. No, dead ass. Maybe I talked to y'all about it, or I talked to my Italian homies.
In the buffer.
No. But I said I want to have I want us to have an episode where we really unpack the like Italian American.
Oh yeah.
But bringing on like I want to have New Yorker Italian friends.
Mm-hmm.
And just Italian American folks in general who like share our values, like share our lens, and we sort of just like they can share from their perspective, sort of like, because there's so many things to talk about. Maybe we talked about it a little bit on the show before, but like Italian black like hate, love,
friction,
generational friction thing. There's a weird, like with rappers who they're like looking up to mob figures because it's like they represent underdogs who made it against the state and the hegemonic like
Do the Right Thing exists as a film just in
right
general.
Yeah,
and there's like a local New York City sort of racial dynamic part to that discussion too.
I talked to a dude in Detroit one time who was like, look at Italians and now look at us. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing all this gang shit? Look at them. And I was like, it's the same thing. What? Because it was being very weird.
But there's
Like,
like
look
also
at them. They have meats and stuff.
They got yeah. Don't you see? It's all
they got
being
money. They got money laundering
It's
operations.
all being laundered
right?
through construction and union work and
then
such
then you
things.
have they hit on this in the Sopranos. You have poor and working class Italian Americans who are like they hate that's how their heritage and their identity is like depicted in the media, and like they hate that. And then you have like Italians that they're on that tip so hard they're back the blue, they're all in on the state and NYPD. There's like it's such an interesting conversation to me culturally that I would love for us like to have one here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm personally not Italian. I know I seem like it sometimes, but hey, not a drop. Not a drop of marinara in this boy. Let me tell you.
Sorry to say I'm the only Italian on this show.
Forget about it.
Friggin' Joyman.
Clinically Italian over here.
Friggin' Scottish over here.
Got a medical dose.
Yeah.
The other thing too is like I said I threw generational in there. It's like I was alluding to the fact that like even in terms of like racism, like think about how there were older generations of Italian Americans that, you know, the fucking mullies. That was their line. Then they have kids, and then hip hop comes around, and then their kids are like listening to hip hop artists dressed as like they're doing Italian mafioso like bits in their fucking I'm the Don. There's black people, but they're doing this in their raps, and a kid's just like they're like connecting, an Italian kid's connecting all these dots, and they're like, wait, what the fuck? They're like, oh, wait, I want to claim this, and like, wait, they fuck with this. This is cool.
Right.
It's just interesting to think about.
Yeah.
So what we're trying to say is we should do a Green Book screening.
If you're fucking Italian and you're a New Yorker in New York City, fucking come on the show.
Have you ever seen that interview where they asked Spike Lee what he thought of Green Book like winning or whatever? And he's like, "Are you British? Are you British?" He's like, "I'll give you a British answer. Wasn't my cup of tea."
Yeah,
yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
Are you British?
Yeah.
Are you British?
I am.
Let me give you a British answer. It was my cup of tea.
That's one of the funny. That's one of the Family Guy funny moments right there. One of the funny moments.
I watched it on a plane. That's the only time I could justify it.
Green Book? You watch Green Book?
What's with green and the title of these like weird? What is it at a white savior movie or no?
Green Book, yeah.
Oh,
so it's like the Green Mile. So what are y'all doing, Hollywood? What are you doing?
And the money's green.
In the same time period, what's going on?
And Ray Charles
time period.
And Ray Charles has a song called Greenbacks, and then he. All right, I was gonna connect everything.
And there's the Green Bay Packers.
And then there's the Green Bay Packers.
What are they packing? Fudge.
I mean, the Green Mile is it's one of those movies where you know there's a crop of people where they thought, especially white people, like they thought back on that film like fondly, and then they've revisited it in the last few years and they've gone, like they're like mortified that held a special place in their memory for some reason. They're like, oh my God, this isn't, no, it's like, no, you changed. It's just things change. Society changed.
Yeah,
you changed.
It's all right.
It was the same back then.
Stephen King.
Oh boy.
Did he write that?
Yeah.
It's a Stephen King movie, right?
Really?
I think so. And Tom Hanks is in it, right?
Yeah. Like I would love to like bring it up to Tom Hanks to see if he even winces or like cringes.
Probably would a long time.
Let's talk about Toy Story.
Toy Story, man.
Yeah.
There's a snake
Shout
in
out,
my boat.
I think his name is John O. Wilson. My man on the interwebs. He does a great Tom Hanks.
Oh yeah.
I'm doing his basically.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh God.
How did we get to talking about
Tom Hanks?
No, the
Jedi.
green the
Green Book and Green Mile.
How did we get to talking about Green Book though?
Oh, Italian.
Oh, right.
Italian. I rewatched Godfather with my father.
Really?
Yeah.
Last Christmas, and just holds up incredibly well, and made me want to watch Godfather Part 2.
Yeah.
It's just one of those. It's kind of like a lot of people. I know a lot of nerds that like those movies are up there with like Lord of the Rings and shit. Like it's like they're like, oh yeah, the classic sagas, you know, like Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Godfather. Like there's definitely movie buffs out there that like that's.
Well, that's like
I feel like
that's the assumption. That's like a
that's
standard
just like baseline.
But
classic.
but having it be like this lore heavy like trilogy, like this fantasy movie, but it's just an Italian
it's simple.
family.
Yeah, it's more stripped down
because like there is lore behind. There's like video games and comic books.
Godfather IP.
Yeah, there's a Godfather verse basically.
Right.
It's just funny to think about.
That is
know?
funny.
Yeah, right.
It's just a couple of guys, billions of dollars, that IP. And it's just a couple of guys.
Godfather's
couple of
Pizza.
wise guys.
Yeah.
This is
I
why I
guess it
want
is
to
a
have
fantasy
this,
movie, yeah.
Because I feel like, I don't know.
I could get you Italians.
No, we
on the
have
show.
no.
That's what you want.
I have
I
Italian
could get you
friends,
Italians.
Connor.
No, I just mean Italians, not friends. Just random Italians. I can supply that.
Yo,
I can
if
get
you're
you.
Straight from Italy.
yeah,
I can get you.
No, that's what I'm saying. If you're in Italy right now and you're Italian, drop a comment.
Yeah. We don't like how this culture.
I know there's serious beef.
Yeah, I know.
They have their own like diaspora wars.
Well,
The
it's so
Italian-
funny
yeah.
when an Italian American like will be on TikTok correcting someone saying like mozzarella,
Right,
and then
right.
an Italian person will be
Right.
like, "It's mozzarella." You dumbass, say it right.
Oh my god!
You're from Connecticut.
Yo,
I'm from
remember-
Italy.
I remember talking to an Italian person from Milan years ago, and I was telling her about Muli, like as an insult for black people that Italian Americans use, and she was
Right.
like, "What? What are you talking about? I don't even know what that means." I haven't looked this. I haven't looked it up. This is purely.
She's like, that's
anecdotal.
a made up mumble
Yeah,
word.
she's
That's
like,
bullshit.
what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
What
That's
is
some
that?
dumb Italian.
Yeah,
I,
right.
I'm just remembering this. So I was an extra on fucking Ocean's 8, and
Oh shit. Okay.
and it was just I was just in the Met for a week straight, just only eating egg sandwiches
You were in the Met for a week straight.
for a week straight. I was in
That's
the.
funny as fuck.
I don't think I actually.
Eating
made,
egg
I don't think I actually
sandwiches.
made the cut, but I was like shooting the Met scene. But there were two dudes on set who like got into a fight over who was more Italian. And they were like
like verbal argument.
verbal, yeah. They were just like, it started off
They were
relative,
both Italian Americans.
yeah.
Okay.
But I guess,
Very aggressive amongst themselves. These
yeah.
Italians.
But I guess it became like a, well, have you been to Italy, or do you even speak Italian?
Ooh.
Do you speak Italian? They're like, yeah, I fucking
Have you
speak
even
Italian.
read the Italian manga?
have you read the Italian adaptation of Cowboy Bebop?
Yeah. Have you read the manga of Italy?
Did it go anywhere, or it was just that?
It just got real. It just got real aggressive.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah.
Because Italian people in Italy, they do this whole like, it's similar with like African people from the continent, and then like Black America. They're like, they're not real. They're not
Yeah.
Italians. They're not really
Yeah.
Italians.
Right.
It's like that sort of thing.
Right.
Right. They're
Which
like,
is
there's
funny
people-
because they came in
There's
by the
people-
boatloads in the 20th century, literally like 100 years ago.
Right.
It's so
Right.
fresh. It's not like
Right. It's not
been-
that long ago.
Yeah.
So there's some people. There's like some Sicilians that are like, I'm not Italian. I'm Sicilian. It's
yeah.
like, you're
Oh,
in
yeah.
the fucking. You're in the boot. You're in it. Like,
Well,
they're
there's
the ball-
internal
they're the ball.
cultural and ethnic dynamics within the boot, within the
No.
nation state
you're
borders.
in the nation.
But then Sicilians will do this weird like I'm black too conflation thing. Sicilian Americans where they're like
hey.
they called me a mully when I was growing up. They called me because I had African in my. It's like,
all right, bro.
Newsflash, we're all
Right,
African,
bro. You're
buddy.
north of North Africa.
Yeah. Newsflash.
Let's relax.
And you're white, racially speaking.
yeah.
And you're white.
You do not look like me.
You're
You do
not.
look.
And you're
white.
You're
Yeah,
not
exactly.
not white.
Cue that TikTok. Yeah. But
You can
see,
you just say it to me. I'm editing.
right.
Cue that. Whoever might be doing
Whoever,
that.
like you say, like
Audience, cue it up.
Cue it up,
Whoever-
pull it up.
Whoever, someone.
You're white. I hate to break this to you, but you're white. You are a Caucasian. You're not white. You're definitely white. If anyone ever passed you on the street, they would say, that's a white person. Remember that.
Do you see why though? Like having a Jaded Forum Italian special would be interesting.
Yeah.
We get lots of lasagna, peaches, put it all over the table.
We should take
dip it in the moss.
I'm saying we
By
should
we,
take the Shure SM7Bs, take them to Long Island, go to
Right.
get a
Can we-
fucking pizza.
You think you think we can get Garfield?
Yo, Italian, Italian,
we can swing that.
Italian New Yorker meet and greet Jaded Forum.
Only
meet and greet.
Italian.
Only Italians. Italians only.
We're not even there.
It's just the mic set up and the cameras. Go ahead, talk. Tell them.
Yeah, there's Italians there on behalf. Be like, no, they just wanted you guys to come here and speak. The cameras will capture everything.
Yeah, no, they set everything up and they left.
Let's do a poll and we can count. If you're Italian, let's keep it broad. Italian American.
Yeah.
Leave a comment. If you're Italian New Yorker, specify that you're in New York City and you're Italian, born and raised, and we'll figure it out. We'll figure out the logistics. And I feel like it would be interesting because we get to talk about fascism in Italy because that shit is like popping over there.
Oh, like right now?
Yeah, and yeah, there's like a political dimensions to the conversation we could have. Be really interesting.
But would Italian New Yorkers even be like?
The ones I know about that shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, isn't it?
Oh, I know the specialists.
There also might be first, second gen, and maybe they're not like deep into politics, but like they still know what's going on in Italy.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I'm thinking about
mob history.
Yeah.
I'd love to have a conversation with mob history.
He fucking rules.
What's the
Is he follows you, I think.
I think we're mutuals.
Yeah.
What's
mob history? Come on the show.
What's the woman's name that like revived Mussolini's party? I forget her name.
I can't remember.
I'm blanking right now.
Yeah, I don't even know who that is.
I know about the is it the 5-star movement? Let me see.
I don't know.
Yep, 5-star movement.
Yeah.
They're on some crypto fash red brown shit.
It's that crypto fash that'll get you.
Crypto fash.
If I remember correctly. Its leader and president is Giuseppe Conte, Prime Minister of Italy from 2018.
Giuseppe is such a silly name to me.
Giuseppe.
It's so silly. Giuseppe.
The party is primarily described as populist, see this, of the syncretic kind, due to its members' insistence that it has no place in the left-right political spectrum. Are we going to have to talk about red brownism today, guys?
Oh, I mean.
What the fuck? Giuseppe Conte, Prime Minister of Italy. Imagine being fucking like brutalized by a fascist named Pepe Grillo.
Don't.
How are you doing?
Yahoo!
It's an interesting.
Where's the Italian?
Wow! Yahoo! It's a strong nation. Wow.
I like the red brown. We used to be so powerful.
Imagine the Pepe Grillo takes over. What are we going to do today?
We are going to take a sides.
I would never be able to take some shit going on in Italy seriously. I'd be laughing too hard. They'd be like, but Pepe Grillo's taking over. I'd be like, come on, that's hilarious. Pepe Grillo? Like, sounds like a delicious place you can get fucking muscles and shit. Like
the Roman Empire used to be so powerful.
Like, I want to go to Pepe Grillo's house and have food. Like,
right.
Muscles.
Clams, steamed
muscles.
In octopus.
Yeah.
Mamma mia. Some squidding pasta.
Pepe Grillo's taking over Italy.
Speaking of which, we're going to talk about the accents for the Super Mario movie.
It's literally him just doing Mario. It's like, I don't know.
Is it?
I thought it was just him.
No, it's him just like talking.
It was
like
just his voice.
It's his voice.
It's like his voice with like the most little sprinkle of
Which
Mario.
is worse.
He's like, yeah, I'm Chris Pratt. It's literally that.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, that was awkward.
It's me, like Star Killer.
That is so bad to me.
Let's go.
And then Jack Black, it's like, I mean,
bring me back. I want
Bowser,
that old.
right?
I want the live action Super Mario. I want that
It's like, okay, it's fun to have like Jack Black, but why not get like I don't know, like a good fucking voice actor,
Joe Pesci.
Like, I mean, Jack Black's a good voice actor. He's in Kung Fu Panda, but I mean, like,
somebody that makes sense. You mean?
Fucking like Keith David would be fire as Bowser or something shit like that. Like, like a fucking voice, like a deep, scary voice. You know?
Yeah.
I'm trying to find a high res.
Yeah, it just feels like they're trying to be silly with it. I feel like, I don't know.
I'm trying to
find so fucking much, dude.
No, this
silly or die.
This one,
Jesse,
fucking, God,
we have to be silly.
Now listen, Mario has to sound like Mario.
Jesse, we have to cook up a better version of Mario.
$700,000.
Oh fuck!
I'm
trying to find
$93 million.
My name is Walter Hartwell White.
Jesse,
no,
you're
308.
we can't do that.
Negra Arroyo Lane.
You're a millionaire.
Albuquerque,
Doing the
New Mexico.
voice of Super Mario, and you're
All right,
complaining.
This was my
Already
shit.
in
as a
Jurassic
kid.
Park.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
It's a shitty film, but aesthetically
Dennis,
incredible. Design wise, incredible. Like the vibes are immaculate, dude.
And established a lot of important canon in the Mario universe. That their last name is in fact Mario.
Really?
Wasn't previously established before this movie.
I hate
Oh
that.
wow!
I hate that.
Yeah.
So his name is Mario?
Dennis Hopper's in this.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Dennis Hopper.
It's John Leguizamo.
Yeah,
right?
man,
Yep.
Mario.
Yeah. When they're in they're
Fucking
in court.
Mario Brothers.
when they're in court, and he's like, "What's your name?" Mario. What's your last name? Mario.
Name? Mario. Last name? Mario. Okay, what's your name?
Luigi.
Luigi?
No, Luigi Mario.
I fucking hate that. Why do they have missile launchers? Why are they freedom fighters? Like, what's going on?
Fucking fire aesthetically. They need to fucking tap into this
They
again.
have
This was
bazookas.
so
What are they,
edgy.
shooting
Think about
down
how
Black
edgy
Hawk
that was.
helicopters?
How did
Yeah.
they even get the fucking licensing? How did they secure the licensing to do that? It's like incredible.
Probably because
Yeah,
it
I have
doesn't
no
even
idea.
fucking look like that.
Well, what year did that come out?
I don't know. I want to say 92 instinctively, but I really don't know. Let me see.
Super
'Cause I'm like-
Mario Brothers.
I want to say maybe it was a time when they just didn't think Mario was going to take off like that. I don't know.
No, it
Or
was
like-
93.
Oh. I mean, it's fully out by then.
They lost money on it.
Was it?
They lost
Was
some-
it? There were a video game crash in the late 80s.
Look at how fly this nigga looks. Look at that.
The Koopas
Are you
I can't
kidding me?
with, But yeah, he looks crazy.
Yeah, the Goombas are fucking
I
crazy.
love that.
Yeah, that's fucking
Who's
insane,
making
bro.
fucking motion pictures like that these days, huh? Something weird, something experimental. huh?
It is, yeah.
His hair is just fire.
Yeah,
That's
it's
like
crazy.
crazy
Yeah.
costume
We did
design.
crazy
Yeah.
shit in the 90s. bro.
Yeah.
We.
Who's we?
We did
Uh,
crazy shit in the 90s, human beings, bro. We used to build shit, bro.
Alan Silvestri did the score. That's interesting.
Alan Suck Testes did the score.
What?
You heard me.
The suggestion for a film based on Super Mario Bros. Was first put forward by Roland Jaffe during a script meeting at his production company, Leitmotiv. Jaffe met the Nintendo of America president and Hiroshi Yamauchi's son-in-law, Minoru Arakawa. He presented Arakawa with an initial draft of the script. 1 month after their meeting, Jaffe went to Nintendo's headquarters in Kyoto to meet Hiroshi Yamauchi. He pitched. They were interested. $2 million contract for temporary control of the character of Mario.
$2 million contract.
Nintendo retained merchandising rights for the film through a creative partnership with Leitmotiv. That's so bizarre.
Oh, you know what? That's actually not that unusual. They do a lot of like.
Oh no, not that. I'm just saying the whole thing.
Oh,
the whole
Yeah,
thing
that they
for
got away with
Mario
all that?
IP. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
oh yeah.
that's
I mean,
so.
I think they do a lot of those like weird, mutually beneficial like crossovers. Like they'll trade an IP. Like Marvel and Toei did that, and that's how they got a Japanese Spider-Man.
Oh.
But you can
Have you
tell
seen
it's
that,
like.
by the way?
I think so. Yeah.
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 It's a live action.
posted
one,
it to
right?
your story.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
tokusatsu.
No, but it's one of those situations where you're like, they could have gotten away with that film. If that film was like amazing, that would have been one of those things where like y'all got away with some shit, and it would have it could have kind of changed even Nintendo's arc as a company in a certain way if that film had performed better. Who knows how we would be looking at the Super Mario IP. Just given aesthetically and narratively all the things that film was doing. It's really interesting to think about.
Right. Yeah. I don't know, man. It is interesting with the whole like rights thing because so many things get made like that where they're kind of on a time crunch because they have to use the rights before they expire, you know? Like that's why I think that's part of why like a new Dragon Ball movie gets fucking made every couple. Or that's why the live action Dragon Ball movie got made. There's a whole situation with I don't know if you know Robotech.
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
I'm reading further into the Wikipedia. It's verifying what I said. It says Nintendo had no interest in creative control and believed the Mario brand was strong enough to allow an experiment with an outside industry. And then this is a quote. I think they looked at the movie as some sort of strange creature that was kind of rather intriguing to see if we could walk or not.
Wow. That's kind of fire though.
They literally got away with some shit.
That's
if that had been a good movie.
Well, it's also, I feel like they were really
end of an era too.
They were really
for that to happen. End of an era. That type
sure.
of experimentation with an IP that big.
Well, and also to speak on the size of the IP, I know the brand was super strong already in the early 90s Mario, but like Nintendo also is so much more psycho nowadays than they were back then in terms of like copyright and IP and
I thought you were gonna
like
say
that.
like creatively or something.
No,
I
mean
huh?
they're a much bigger like empire now than they were back then.
Yeah,
like I feel like it makes sense that they were willing to like kind of experiment, but also I agree. I think the general time period.
Crazy to me.
I think the general time.
It's like Japanese corporation too, which has to be taken into account. Like that's just like,
well the situation generally is like Japanese corporations have way less power over here than they do over there. So that might have played into it.
They had more power in this situation though.
I mean, they may have, but
no, it says it on the Wikipedia. Yeah.
Oh, word.
Yeah. They were asking like, why should we give you like rights over anything like for this?
Yeah.
Right. Which makes it even more bizarre to me that it got made.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's weird.
Yeah. I was just thinking about the situation with Robotech, which basically got the rights are still apparently. I'm pulled up an article just now that apparently it got resolved a couple years ago, but for like decades the dude who owned the rights to Robotech was this Egyptian dude who
Oh really?
Yeah. So
That's so funny to me already right off top.
Yeah. This dude's name is Frank Agrama. He
How
owned.
did he get it? Do you know?
Well, I don't know all the details because there are mad different companies, and apparently the way he got the rights from Japan might have been illegal entirely, but they never even investigated that part. There was there were a bunch of. I talked about this in my fucking podcast years ago with Crunchyroll, but I don't remember all the details. But basically, they bought the rights from a company that may not have actually owned it, and this was the rights to like Macross,
Whoopsies.
which is there are like 3 different Macross series that got like compiled into what became Robotech.
Wow.
And so basically that Japanese company owns all the rights within Japan, I think. But then Frank Agrama owns the rights everywhere else in the world, basically.
Wow. Holy shit.
Or some like weird fuck shit. I don't even remember anymore.
Configuration.
And like he owns Robotech.
IP law is so bizarre.
Yeah, it's like he owns Robotech and they own Macross. So there's basically a bunch of fuck shit where you can't get like.
Is that all just like cool Gundam shit you're talking about? Mecha shit?
More or less. Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah.
I love all that shit.
Yeah.
He's just like talking about such a complex subject, and he's like, "That's like that robot shit. That's like that robot shit, right?" Fire.
I'm just in my head. You're talking about what is it, Gauss or whatever the fuck? Or,
yeah.
Macross.
Macross, and I'm like,
Macross.
that's like I'm thinking like a robot holding up big
Yeah.
ass
That's like
sniper.
that shit where they had the robots that fly in space, right?
Like a giant robot with
It's like
big,
that robot,
big
strong.
wings.
Like guns and armor on, like type shit. That
I wish
robot was strong, like killing niggas, like boom.
This is the
Like, that's that
nitty-gritty of
shit,
it.
right? Egyptian nigga took that's crazy. Like he made a power like mob.
Yeah, that's crazy.
For
Like,
real. Like he cornered off
He
like every
owns Macross.
market like around the world. Like he didn't even have to have guns and armor on with Japanese corporation. He just like
Charge
just
counterattack
finesse type shit. Like boy, like whoop, nah, it's mine now.
Whoop.
Nope, can't
Own
have
that
it back.
shit.
Oops, that's mine.
Oops,
Own that shit.
oops, Mecca.
Oops, that's a bag.
Oops, Mecca.
Oops, that's a bag.
Gunpla.
Oops, my bag.
Oops,
Hey,
oops, my bag. How
like,
come no one's made that
oops.
song yet?
No.
Oops, my bag.
My bag.
Better face this way because I got all the mechas. All right. Yeah.
Wow, I hate you. Because I caught that.
But yeah, he owned
Cheers.
the rights for mad long, and then I think went into real estate. So
Makes
they just-
sense.
Wow.
Yeah,
Taking over the world.
The realist of a state.
and he also got caught up. He also got caught up in some shit with Silvio Berlusconi, where he was Italian prime minister, where he was selling rights to. Berlusconi's media company.
Is that like their
that-
it's like their
That's like the president.
Berlusconi, so what are they
Fire.
Berlusconi.
Fire. Dude, you know the Italian Prime Minister Berlusconi?
He's
fired.
He's also like the owner of AC Milan. There's like a whole fucked up thing going.
What's that?
Soccer team.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I'm not like hip to fucking.
I'm not into sports. I'm not into sports.
Wait, what did you think it was?
No. He did. I thought he would know what AC Milan was.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying you didn't. Know also,
Does he own?
but
He owns it.
He was.
I'm
Well,
not
at
a
least he
sports
did.
head.
He did.
What does
at one
that stand for? Asshole Club Milan.
Might as fucking well. Am I right?
Yeah.
Hey.
Might is fucking well. I think there is an explicitly fascist club. I think Lazio. I think
Is that a fascist? I
No.
thought that was a soccer team.
No,
You
I
gotta
think-
get
I think
into
Lazio
sports so
is-
that you can come up with names for these acronyms. You can make a whole sort of like index
Yeah.
or gallery that if a
Yeah.
sports fan hates another team, they just use the acronym that you made for them. Asshole Club.
Yeah. But yeah, he got caught up in this thing with he was selling rights to Berlusconi's company to shit that he did not own. And by the way, Berlusconi's company was like scientifically proven to make teenagers more conservative. It was his whole fucking. They did studies on it. But then they got caught.
I forgot who we were originally talking about.
Frank Agrama, Egyptian dude who owns
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. He created a brainwashing teens into conservatives product.
It kind of unrelated, but
It's all connected to
but
robots. All of
it's all connected to media
We
rights and
connect
such.
all of it.
To media rights and
Well, you
such.
make a lot of money.
And
It's a good thing.
because
Lots of money. Good
they
for
were
the business.
eventually caught, and then Berlusconi he changed the law so that they didn't have to go to prison because they were both too old. This is what happened. You know what? I don't remember all the details very well, so I'll just drop a clip from the podcast where it's me. It's also me talking, but it's me sounding a lot more intelligent about this subject.
Basically, I want to say around 2003, it was determined by a Japanese court that Tatsunoko Production may have never had the power to hand the rights to Macross over to Harmony Gold in the first place, because they apparently didn't have the approval of their co-producers Studio Nue and Big West in Japan, and technically the rights to 41 of the original character designs still belong to Big West. But because we are America and our word is law, and because we renew our anger about Pearl Harbor only when it is convenient, a different judge said fuck everything Japan stands for, and I guess that ruling was ignored in the US, and a judge determined that Harmony Gold has the rights to use Macross for some period of time just short of forever. A 2016 case between HG and Tatsunoko, in which the latter claimed Harmony Gold was sublicensing Macross without paying royalties, was ruled in favor of Harmony Gold, but also dialed back the whole perpetuity thing and upheld the 2021 expiration date on their Macross license, and that date held until July of this year, when Harmony Gold's deal with Tatsunoko was extended for another, as of yet undisclosed amount of time that is presumed to be another 35 fucking years.
I'm still laughing at the concept of fascism taking over in Italy, where everyone talks like that.
You think fascism's funny?
If everyone was going,
you think fascism's funny
the whole time, it'd be a little funny.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
never
nice.
Never happened.
Imagine
Yeah, never
me getting
happened, buddy.
self-righteous.
Wow.
Yeah, all the poor and working class Italian
Oh, yeah.
people. The immigrants, the African immigrants that have that
Yeah,
accent
yeah.
also.
Ethiopia doesn't.
Very
that
funny.
sound
yeah.
like Super Mario
Fascist
2
was like,
also.
It was funny. Yeah.
It's like Ethiopia doesn't matter to you. That's funny.
They
Mario.
all sound like it's Super Mario Bros. 3.
Yeah, when Mussolini was running around, ha ha,
Yeah.
it's a me, a Mussolini.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's funny. He was hitting
Yeah.
question mark blocks and
Yeah.
getting power ups. You think
Yeah.
that's funny?
Yeah, laugh my ass off.
You think that's funny, bro?
Yeah,
British guy.
it's not funny, bro.
You think
Yeah.
that's funny, bro? What
not
the
funny,
Italians
bro.
had to go through, bro, was not cool, bro. Italy was a fascist state, bro. Thank God.
man.
Thank God we weren't, bro.
I will say, Mussolini
It's actually pronounced Mussolini.
Yeah.
to me was the goofiest fascist.
Yeah.
You ever watch
Yeah.
clips of him? He is a goofy goober.
No, I can't say I've watched them.
Literally,
Mussolini
he,
tapes.
like when he would give speeches, he would be like, he would literally do like this, like it's a theater.
Oh, yeah, you're
theatrical
right. You're right.
performance.
Right.
He
was
loved
a-
Lenin, by the way.
He was a ding dong.
Interesting.
He was a zing zong. Yeah.
Yeah.
He. I never liked him.
Personally, it never
Nah,
I
fast.
can't.
Nah,
frankly,
like-
can't stand him.
Hey, you British?
Yeah.
You British? Mussolini?
Not
Not
my
my
cup
cup of tea.
when you were bringing up the KRS-One like crazy song, it also made me think of
13 and Good is the name of the song.
Yeah, it just made me think of the Skepta song that we will listen to all.
Oh.
And I was like, damn, do we open that can of worms? But I don't know.
I think we do it.
I don't even know.
I don't
know from a climate standpoint. I don't know. Just look up. Maybe we could just say.
Yeah,
Maybe
tell
just,
them to look it up.
I forget what the name of it is.
Transformers, probably.
Well,
Yeah, it's a song. Yeah, just
Transformers by Skepta.
Yeah,
I don't even think that's the name of the song. I think it's.
But you'll find
You know
it
what?
if you look that up.
I'll drop the clip out of context.
It's called Disguise.
Okay.
For the love
I'll
of
drop
God.
I'll drop a
That's
sound
even
bite.
worse.
I'll drop a
It's so
sound bite.
literally worse.
That's really the most
Yeah.
critical part. It's a disguise.
That's what you need to understand.
It's deceptive. It's
Yeah,
malicious.
You thought she was a girl.
Yeah.
Just a sneak peek of what
Yeah.
you're gonna hear.
That's a little taste.
I'll just drop the sound bite out of context, but you'll know the context from the
Yeah.
words. Yeah.
Yeah.
We better back all they got.
On that point, it's really interesting when you find shit like that and you're like, whoa, they still have it up.
Oh, yeah.
KRS-One
Spotify,
still
isn't
it?
has that song and video up, and all the comments
Yeah.
are like, this is kind of interesting that he has this up right now.
Yeah.
It's really
Like, damn, 13.
because
like,
you know if you
hold
brought
up.
it to him, he would be like, but even if I did, right? So what if I did?
Who gives a fuck?
Right.
If I had a done it,
Yeah.
right.
you got a whole OJ book.
Yeah.
I was like, why did Vivo upload this in 2015?
We were going through your archives, KRS,
Yeah.
and can I call you that?
Can I call you
we found this one,
Curse.
and we remastered
Can I call you
it
curse?
4K.
Cursoni.
We got it in 4K, and we're gonna re-upload that for you. Okay, how's
Yeah.
that sound?
Yeah, we got you a deal with Pizza Hut. We're gonna make calzones.
He's like,
Calzones.
13, the Romans called 13 adultus, right? Which was an adult.
Right.
So who fucking cares?
The roots of the word adultery
Yeah.
is you would have sex with 13 women.
Right.
A diarrhea. Diarrhea was a region of Macedonia.
Alexander the Great had sex with children.
Right.
That's
I
what
forgot
made
what I
him
was
so-
talking about.
Yeah.
Anyways,
But the way that I'm speaking
Yeah.
makes you feel like everything could be correct. I enunciate my words.
yeah.
The word Negro.
Overseer.
The word Negro, it stands for never even gonna read or
That's right.
Or ellipses.
Yeah. Ellipses. Oh God.
This world is so fucked up.
I love how people were like, "You fucking idiots! How fucking dare you slander
That's so
Kersoni?"
I don't think you'll understand how fun that is to do.
Yeah.
The word
You're
Negro.
quick.
Yeah.
Y'all are both impressively quick with that. Like, I don't know how my brain doesn't work that way. Like,
I just love words, bro. The word Negro, it stands for niggas ever got run over. You ever been in a car accident of some kind?
Oh,
He's got like crutches.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But yeah, that's Skepta song.
Oh
This
man,
is crazy.
I think I maybe told y'all about it, but like I used to listen to Skepta like heavy.
Yeah, I love Skepta.
And I literally stopped when I heard
Beat him like Ike Turner.
he was like, something like who? Something like Ike Turner. It's like
Yeah.
the hook of the song.
Yeah.
Slap him like Ike Turner. I was like, dude.
I was also
Yeah.
thinking
All
about the
okay, we're in hyper masculine zone. Okay,
Yeah.
we're there.
Right.
Sure, fine. Well, I'll partake. I'll listen to it.
Right.
All of the human beings, fictional, real life,
Yeah.
that you could have chosen to describe slapping someone, your haters or whatever. You chose Ike Turner? You chose Ike Turner?
something like who? Something like the guy from the Honeymooners. Bang zoom straight to the moon. One of these days, Alice.
Seriously, it's like I literally stopped listening to him after that.
Yeah.
I was like, this isn't cringy. It's like embarrassing.
Yeah.
You're a grown ass man.
Yeah.
And you said that. That's weird.
Made me skeptical of his
He immediately
intentions.
Well, here's what's funny, right? Is because before his like after the Drake co-sign and him coming, the MoMA show and all of that, he had a corny corporate era before that. That was like a rebrand thing.
Oh, where he became like a cool fashionista.
Yeah. No, it wasn't even fashionista. It was like roadman shit. That was actually supposed to be the thing. It's like not pretentious, not whatever. Like stripped down. I'm back to my roots or whatever. He blows up. He makes hella money, and then he starts dressing bougie. And then a lot of his fans are like, "What the fuck, man? Like what the fuck?" But if you go far back enough, he's got some corny ass shit. Like I could probably find something right now. That would be very entertaining.
Roadman, yeah.
I'm a rector. My name's Skepta.
Zach is. I feel like I was texting with Zach about this one. We were dying laughing at this one video. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it. It's really interesting because like in the record industries, like all around the world, you can test with hip hop or like this is grime and it's obviously a distinct thing, but like you can tell they're on different timelines, like culturally in terms of the industry. So like, by the way, I think I may have found the cornfield.
She told me that I talk nonsense. She said I never boost her confidence. She came home wearing a brand new dress, but I never gave her a compliment. No emotion, no attention. She wants me to pop the question, but I never said a word, not even a mention. That's why they call me
Fuck.
Oh, this sucks.
Yo.
The song's called Bad Boy.
Oh God, this sucks ass.
Someone put the EDM bug in his ear. Look, man, you gotta compromise.
What year is this?
Let go of the grime and,
like 09?
Head on to the top. This is 12 years ago, to 2010.
I know she knows, I know she ain't the one. She calls me every name under the sun. Waste man, lazy, she's mad, she's crazy.
She's crazy.
No, this.
Hey, they kept the lyrics as simple as possible.
That
like
shit,
what a
that shit,
rebrand he had.
That shit looks like it. That shit looks like if Akon went broke with the glasses on. I'm locked up. They won't let me out.
For those who didn't know, not to start, I didn't want to just have a Skepta hater fest for the fuck of it. We were on the topic.
That one was just funny.
Yeah.
It's more just funny. I don't really have anything necessarily against Skepta. really.
You just named the thing and he knows against Skepta.
Well, I just named a thing that he did. That's funny.
Slap him with his own words.
Yeah.
That was such a lawyer move.
I mean, let's be clear here. I said what he did.
Yeah.
It didn't make a judgment on it.
I didn't say that's a bad song. I do say it's a bad
what
song.
He did.
No, I'm gonna hold you to that.
Slap him like who? I remember when he was in New York City, and I was like running. I was working at opening ceremony, and then Shorty BBK, I ran into him. That's like someone from his crew, and like handed me the first Tim Westwood mixtape, the first one out of his backpack, like it was the fucking 80s or 90s.
Wow.
Which I thought that was beautiful. That was charming that they like. It was. This is like 2016, but they're like, we're gonna kick it old school in the Mecca, like New York City or whatever.
Right.
And then he had a show sometime around that time, and like it was a smaller venue. It wasn't like the MoMA one. That was like huge, and it was like a big deal at the time. Like I wish I had been there. It was like so crazy. And by the way, the timeline was another abuser, ASAP Bari, did that It Ain't Safe song with him. And it blew up.
Oh yeah.
Over here, it blew up in like the US. And then sometime later, like Drake came through and like stamped it. And then by the time he was doing this like MoMA show, it was like crazy. It was like now everyone was listening to Grime out here and shit.
Right.
And but yeah, I just went to one of his shows. It was in a smaller venue, and I ended up just being sort of, I was watching the performance, but then his crew was like behind me. Like they were just watching the show, like from the crowd, and like we were talking about it. I can't remember who specifically I was talking to. I'm forgetting his name. But he also like raps. He's like a dope MC. And I was like, just like, yeah, like it must be dope and like crazy. It's like dope that I guess like Drake like co-signed, because it's like now you're like reaching like a whole new audience and all this stuff. And he got like really defensive.
Oh, like that.
Which I understood. No, I understood where he was coming from though. He was trying. It was like
we
pride.
don't need Drizzy, bro.
Yeah. He was like, it's like, brother, like we were already doing this. Like we're already doing Grime. Like this is already a thing. Like it's not like, you know. Yeah. It's like it's cool, but it's like it's not. It was like that sort of like.
It's like, yeah, but you're going music, so we're not bumping it here yet.
I'm top boy, bro.
Look, this corniness aside, I love Grime. Full disclosure,
I think it's fire.
Yeah, so. You can make fun of them all you want, Connor.
Well, I'm just saying, like the confusion that they don't have crossover here. It's like, yeah, we're dumb as
like,
fuck. We don't listen to shit that
like,
has any difference.
We don't gotta
to
like
us.
posture like that.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I didn't like Drake back then, so it's not like
it wasn't. Yeah, you're just saying like nice that like American audiences have a funnel to get you in.
Yeah, and more Grime artists too. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think it's really dope. I think the intersection of culture there is really dope too.
Yeah,
how it's represented in the music and the sounds and everything. It's
oh my god,
fucking fire!
Insane.
And combined with the electric music scene and everything. It's
Do y'all want to hear
jungle music too? And like drum
what
and bass.
might be? I think I've played it for y'all privately, but I don't think I've played it on the show. It might. It's what people cite as potentially the first Grime beat.
Oh,
are you ready for this?
I feel like
I want to hear this. Yeah,
I do. Yeah,
listen to this.
We talked about this before.
We did.
Maybe off camera.
Rude and Deadly. It was like one half of this duo, Rude and Deadly, that I think produced this.
Yeah.
So hard.
What was this on the SNES or some shit?
Yeah. And in my research, like I haven't been able to find anyone who can find something that predates this that hits all of the marks. You hear like the orchestral synthetic strings.
Yeah, right.
It literally hits all of the marks. One of the top comments, and I agreed with them, this is genuinely harder than 99% of Grime instrumentals in the last decade. I don't care.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dylan Beal, one half of Rude and Deadly. I would spin this. Like, this shit's
ironically, yeah, absolutely.
Would have to tweak the mix a little bit because
it's a little tinny up there.
Yeah, but incredible. I love when you can trace, when you can find a certain song or an album, or like you can really pinpoint the birth of like genres, like an outgrowth of genres and subgenres from like just something so clear and identifiable.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, bro. I love shit like that. I've been on this like, because I've been playing a lot of bass recently, listening to a lot of jazz, and it's just been fun tracking the whole arc from like that up through hip hop and all this shit, and just like there's this YouTube channel, Digging the Greats, that's been really that's really dope for like just plotting all those through lines. I was just watching one on like native tongues, and I watched one about Soulquarians because like all I play is like D'Angelo songs right now. It's just been so dope just watching that whole like through line kind of coalesce. Also bought this book on Dilla that's like really dope. It's like and I hadn't really thought about. Like people always talk about his rhythmic contribution, but like I think because we grew up with it, it never really completely registered to me what it was. And this book broke it down really well. It was just like, I think people think he just like didn't use the quantize feature on his MPC, but he was really like just quantizing everything to a different spot.
He was calculating the drag, and the fluctuations.
And like,
it was intentional.
Yeah, it was all quantized on separate tracks. It wasn't like on the same grid.
Right.
And so you got certain shit that just comes in like a little bit later, a little bit rushed, or he's just like so deliberate about it that it sounds off, but it's still like perfect. Just little shit like that. Like he invented a third type of time. There was just like swing and straight. Now
Donuts is legitimately an album like I can cry to. And there's no like no real, I mean there's samples, but
things you can do.
I love the production on The Shining.
Oh yeah. I mean all over. That album's insane.
Yeah.
That album's you could argue that album's as good or better than Donuts. I mean,
that's my favorite. That's my favorite album. Oh yeah. E = MC squared is my favorite beat on that album. With
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
E = MC squared.
MC squared. Boom 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 boom. Yeah, that shit is so hard.
And Common
you got So Far to Go with D'Angelo. Jungle Love is oh my god, that beat is crazy. I'm just looking at the track listing. I'm like, classic.
Dude, there was a whole he did like Far Side Records and shit too. There's a whole Microchop. Shout out Microchop, the fucking Twitter account. They did a J Dilla like production breakdown. He did a Tribe song on like their 4th album.
I
forget which one it's called.
And like I think Bullshit was the first Far Side.
Yeah, he did that song.
That was the main one.
Yeah, he's
just fucking incredible. And then like I was talking to somebody about this. Is like, and I've also done videos on this, but just like the through line of him and kind of like solidifying like anime is like a black cultural thing in the US. The way like him and like Nujabes just like did the whole
that's interesting
the whole like lo-fi thing, and just like where Samurai Champloo became like
which has now been synthesized to the very popular beats to study to basically. That's what all that's been sort of diluted to.
And it's like it's so fucking interesting, man. There's just so much shit to it.
This is like, kind of tangential, but just thinking about like producers and shit, like I heard some story where like Kanye was making, I think he was making like all of the lights or like one of his biggest songs ever. And it was like, you know, he's a perfectionist and he like can't quite get it right. And he like, he'll spend all this time. Yeah, the drums. And he like, and he just has to go to Timbaland. And Timbaland does the drums.
Yeah, and then Timbaland's like, he does it in 5 minutes, and he tells him like, I'm the only one that could have done that.
Yeah, and he's like, right. I mean, it's like what does he do? That's one thing. That's the thing about production is it gets so granular. It's like
I was just talking with Zach about this.
Yeah,
the other day.
it's just like you have no idea how many layers there are to it, how many tweaks there are to it, what plugins there are. It's like Pierre Bourne, like his beats, his stems would get leaked or whatever, like his sounds, and he'd be like, that's not mine, I can hear it, that's not my kick, that's not my kick drum, and it's just like, it's crazy.
Like who was the dude who was like I only use Fruity Loops from 2016 because Fruity Loops now don't sound the same.
I mean that's probably not bullshit though. Really,
I mean,
but
it's so
got a different timbre to it.
Right,
got a different acoustic.
Like DAWs have seasoning on them.
This is like what is the Stradivarius?
I love that. I love that, but like,
come on,
relax.
Well, somebody was also like,
got a tang, like they come out the box with a tang.
I use 2011 Sony Vegas to edit my videos.
I was gonna say,
get the fingers on that dog.
Before you even finish, I was gonna say no. Like there is a thing where certain DAWs are better.
Yeah, of course,
but it's not like an inherent, like sound that the way it shoots it out, just it puts a little a little something on it.
Think
like
another dude was like the difference between. I think Ableton on PC versus Ableton on Mac was some crazy shit. I don't remember what that was.
Ableton is my DAW for anyone who's wondering.
One time I saw Melt Banana live and they didn't have one of their guitarists or their drummer. I think it was their drummer, and so the singer was playing an Ableton remote.
Oh wow!
To play the drums live and sing.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah,
because Ableton has a thing,
it's amazing.
Right.
Yeah,
cool.
You know what like musical thing was really fucking interesting that I looked up recently is like, like Animal Collective, just like just bands like that, just like. Because I didn't realize like
40 people doing that at once.
Yeah, right. It was like I hadn't thought about like how pervasive it is for like white dudes to use that like African guitar sound, the soukous guitar.
Oh, interesting.
Like the heavy, like Paul Simon started it. I think.
Oh, we love that.
Like Animal Collective, Vampire Weekend does it.
Have we had the Peter Gabriel conversation on the show?
No, but it's like it's so funny because I don't know about that. But I vaguely get what you're saying. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know what you're talking about.
Wait,
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're saying the Peter Gabriel shit and the Paul Simon shit.
Oh yeah. The world music.
Yeah,
but it's African.
Right.
Yeah,
you saw that even in like
I was
Lion
gonna say
King and shit.
I love So by Peter. That's literally one of my favorite albums ever. But that story you told.
Oh, about did I tell that on here before?
No.
Oh, so
it's so funny and so specific. If you're a Peter Gabriel head and fan, like you will be, or even a Genesis fan, you will be tickled by this.
Well, I won't say the person who told me this story, but it's a friend of mine who used to make like when people like full blown like recording studio consoles, like full, like if you went into like a recording studio, like the whole shit, like, and would build those. And he apparently built one for Peter Gabriel, but it was like, and this was, I was having a conversation. This is good context.
One of the biggest, most identifiable acoustic studios in the world, real world studios, by the way.
The one I'm describing?
Yes. Just so happens
I didn't know that.
Oh, no. It's a huge deal.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, in the music world.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. That context makes this story even more hilarious.
That's crazy. Well, there's that. And then there's also the fact that it was in the context of me basically like denouncing capitalism, and this person, my friend, basically being like, I fuck with Bernie Sanders, but like he rejected the idea that scarcity didn't exist. He rejected like these kinds of things. He's like, no, people have to work, blah blah blah, all this shit.
Right.
And we were basically talking about like how
gaudy it is for people to be able to be worth. Like he thought it was genuinely cool that you could be worth $200 billion like Jeff Bezos.
Right.
He thought that was cool. Like, so I don't really know where he was coming from. Kind of like a libertarian vibe, I guess his politics would be, but he
libertarian, right.
But yeah, but so like, anyways, he was telling me this story, and the point of his story was, isn't it cool how much money Peter Gabriel has?
Right.
But
that's how he was sharing it.
That's how he was sharing it. So apparently he was building one of these for Peter Gabriel, and this recording studio was basically in this like church that is surrounded by like a moat, or like
the fact that you have not seen this studio or don't even know I'm telling you, music heads are this is hilarious. Look, this is it.
Yeah.
This is
so
but
the water.
Connor has been telling the story for years, maybe never have actually having an image to put to what is described to him.
Yeah.
So just keep that in context as he tells
So
us.
This is helpful.
Basically, that water goes. I think it goes into the. It actually goes into the studio. It's like it's like part of the lake. Like the lake is part of the room.
Right.
And there's fucking. So he built. So the thing he was concerned about was when they were building it. You could only see so much of this lake in front of you when you're behind recording shit, like in the chair, literally in the chair. So he basically, I think, lobbied the local like municipality to basically change the water level so that he could see the ducks sitting. He could see the swans sitting.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it could be high enough that he could see the swans sitting above the console, and he was like pissed off that he couldn't see them. Like. And they were like, "There's nothing we can do. That we built it like this. There's nothing we can do." And so they went and did that. And apparently, it's like some Donald Trump shit. It's like crazy. And so raised the water level so that he could see the. And he's like, "Isn't that cool?" When he told me that story, he's like, "Isn't that cool that he did that?" And I was just thinking, like, how much blow do you have to be on? Like, how insane do you have to be to do that? Like, like you're so rich from just singing little soft songs.
Right.
You mentioned swans.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my god.
See, it's in there. You can see.
That's so fucking crazy.
I just want to reiterate, Connor has been telling the story, not having seen any.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen this picture.
It's also crazy because swans are like the shittiest bird on the fucking planet.
Like,
They
who
suck.
cares?
Oh my god.
Swans are pieces of shit, man.
The fact that you could explain the construction of the studio, never having seen it,
It verifies it somewhat.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was
Eat the rich.
Yeah. Tax the fucking rich.
Tax them.
Tax the rich in the Mecca.
Tax them and hang out with them.
Yeah.
Make them pay. Make them pay.
You gotta
me.
make that back. And hang out with the chill ones. Hang out with the chill ones. The other ones back.
To the government.
Yeah. The ones I like and keep it.
So like, who would you eat and who would you spare?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, marry, kill. AOC. Who would you kill? Who would you kill?
Yeah. Eat, murder, spare.
Who would you murder, AOC? AOC, if you can murder one person right now, AOC, just like interviewing her, like, drop the bullshit. AOC, if you had to murder, you had to, gun to your head and whole family, you have to murder one person. Who would it be?
Eat, murder.
How would she react, bro?
Eat, murder, spare. Elon Musk, Jennifer Lawrence.
I want to know.
Lawrence Fishburne.
The Michelin Man.
I want to know how much copium you have to be smoking to, in 2023, have the end piece of your, like, I'm a badass, I know it needs to go down, end at policy. How much copium?
Right.
What percentage of those people do you think have given up? Like, they actually, when the conversation comes up, they just don't say anything.
I, in general,
because they feel like
it's what other people.
They feel like it's all fucked. I that's not gonna work. So You know, it's like, when does it end? When does,
if you're still like, all right, we really got to show up, guys. Next, like, you're literally, your mind is like a Disney movie. Like, there's just a fucking CRT movie playing a VHS of a Disney movie, and that's your fucking brain. Like, are you serious?
My homie who worked for, who did some video stuff for DSA was telling me like they had a whole gathering for like socialists in office is what they call it, SIOs. And he went in planning on doing video for them, thinking they were gonna like talk about what they're gonna do, action plans, all this stuff, and they get there, it's just a fucking like kickback, just a hang,
doobies and stuff.
And they I think somebody explicitly said like, we don't really want to talk about policy right now, we just kind of want to see each other, like there's a celebration. And it was like, okay, then what the fuck am I doing video
then just
for?
have parties.
Yeah, just have a
Can I
have
just
a party.
hang out?
I just want to say,
sorry, before we get too deep into this, I just wanted to, in the African guitar conversation, the Green Arrows is the first band to do that.
It's always green stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are they from Mali by any chance?
Zimbabwe.
Oh, okay.
They got some of the craziest fucking rhythms that I was like playing one of their songs yesterday. It was like
green arrows.
Yeah,
that's fire.
Yeah, just like can't even like syncopated to the point you can't even tell what time signature it is. But
yeah, I was gonna say, you know, they were fucking Japanese anarchists in the top of the 20th century who wrote about how literally what you just described was what they believed in and fought for years.
Yeah.
And then how they came to understand that it was a ridiculous notion. Right. Like how ridiculous of a notion it was.
What was
I love history so much.
Yeah.
I love history. I love all the moments where I thought I had an original idea or I had an epiphany about what we should do.
Mm-hmm.
And then I fucking went to history and got schooled by someone from centuries ago.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying, oh no, I already tried. We already did it. And I go, okay, well, let me see what the conditions were. And you're like, oh, it's basically the same power dynamics at play. There's nothing that really changed. There's nothing that really indicates something would change if we tried that again now. I love having those moments. And I feel so bad for people that can't think, or maybe don't. They're too afraid to think critically about what it is that they're fucking doing.
Who
and Shusui Kotoku is who I'm referencing.
I was gonna ask.
The way.
I was about to ask what his name is. I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Italian lady was pretty crazy also.
You looked into it afterwards, or
you sent us
just
some
referencing?
shit.
Yeah.
Mazzol.
Yeah, anarchists were writing about some absolutely incredible
phenomenal
shit. Phenomenal.
The anarchists, the
1800s.
looters, the rioters,
Yeah.
the vagrants. Get them out of here.
Yeah, but there's something refreshing about reading Kotoku specifically, and him being honest about having pushed for this like electoral sort of like orientation around political strategy, and then coming to realize this is, you know, it's also when you study U.S. like left history, there's plenty of moments where socialists or whatever were elected to office all throughout the country, especially all throughout the 20th century, you know?
Yeah.
You got to really you got to like zoom out at a certain point and just sort of clock the patterns. Even if it's hard. Some patterns, when you look at them, my eye, it hurts a little bit, but hold them open.
Checker.
Hold them open and stare into the light. They tell you don't look into the light, stare into the light, because when it gets dark in here, that light's going to lead you out.
Damn.
Everybody keeps asking.
Sometimes the light burns.
Burns your
Everybody
retinas.
always asks, is electoral politics the principal avenue
Everybody
for
always
social
asks.
systemic change?
Yeah, I have no read on
I would
the
say no.
race.
And also, it smells like vanilla.
And baby powder and mandarin.
And mandarin.
God, I would never want to smell Michael Jackson. Never.
That's kind of that is kind of creepy when you.
I feel like you would smell like a really old Bible.
Well, if you don't want to smell Michael Jackson, you better not smell any vanilla.
Yeah, well,
if you don't want to smell, don't ask. Don't ask.
But everybody keeps asking.
It's just ignorant.
You keep asking.
It's ignorant.
It's just ignorant.
It's ignorant.
Well,
Hey.
Y'all are tired. Y'all been yawning for the last 30 minutes. We gotta call this one.
I mean,
we gotta call it so they can go to bed.
We're tired.
I'm just
We're
a yawny
tired.
boy.
Yeah.
We put out this show a lot.
I'm just a yawny man. Put me on some paper towels. Call me yawny man.
Yeah, and hopefully, if you've been watching, if you've been watching, you caught a little nudge at the beginning, at the top of this episode.
The Kevin Hart.
Motherfuckers getting burnt out and tired. Y'all want that weekly draw? Go in and put some money in the pot.
Right.
So we don't gotta put promos at the front of the movie. At the front of the episode.
Front of the movie.
So we don't gotta put it at the front of the episode.
You just see Pop Smoke.
Put it in the back of the
Put promos in front of the movie.
No more solicitations at the front of the episode.
I started a Pokemon movie. It wasn't a Pokemon movie. What the fuck is this movie?
You watching the show but you don't donate?
Is there too many Pokemon? Yeah, just put up, Yedoye, please put up a picture of Kevin Hart going like this. And it's just us going, hey, give us some money for this. Because we
put the cum in the cup.
We work a lot.
Can I explain it? I'll try and do it succinctly, but like, we doing this on our own time, in between other jobs, other work. The people in post, it's the same situation for them.
Some of us are the people in post.
Yes,
we're all the people in post.
Yes, we all do post work. And what happens? What happens when there isn't enough in resources to sustain a group that big in labor is people get burnt out. There's like a cyclical sort of like some people have to step away. Some people have to leave, not because they don't want to continue, but because they have to survive. And so the obvious thing is, if we have more resources, we have more support, one, we can keep doing this, but two, we can shoot more, we can do more, you know, because we're not tired and burnt out. Some people probably wonder, oh, why isn't there an episode this week, or why was the drop late? It's because everyone's scrapping around.
This shit is Wikipedia, motherfucker. You gotta donate every once in a while.
Yeah.
Everyone,
it's free, but goddamn, you gotta keep the lights on.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
97% of people will close this email.
And you're like, I'm 97.1.
But yeah, that's all that to say. If you really do enjoy the show and love the show and can give something, please give.
And if you see potential outside of the show, because I think a lot of people after our the left episode kept asking, how are you guys so? They always ask, what makes you guys so different? What is so different about what you guys are doing?
Right.
And the goal, the difference is our aspirations.
Mm-hmm.
Our aspirations, they smell like vanilla. First of all, and don't say they include much broader counter hegemonic projects, including land development and such, eco villages and such. That's the goal outside of what we got going on right here. So the show is nice. You can support the show, but just know that you're supporting something much bigger than that, something big, much bigger than all of us.
Trying to make Whiterun
and Mandarin.
And can I say something to that too? Because it also takes labor to like explain the nuances and the logistics and the concrete practical stuff that goes into everything that Yedoye just described. Like that's labor on top. And I'm saying this to people who they watch and they're like, y'all say that, but like, where's the proof? And it's like, my first point is I think the proof is lived in social. So it's not as easy to capture. Maybe it would be easier to capture if we had a shared like office or living space or something, and that's what we chose to do with our resources. And we could take pictures and do polls and be like, tell them what the experience is like for you. But it's a social thing. It's like we're just living and doing it, right? I think what people want to see is they want to see physical infrastructure, and like that's to them, that's like, oh, they're doing a actual thing. It's like, well, no, actually the point is social. Like the material is a means to support and reinforce the social relations we've already been called. It's not just us three. It's over a dozen people that aren't in front of the camera right now.
We're in a federation of like 15 people right now.
Right. So that's what the first thing that I want to say, and then the other thing is vanilla, and the other thing is like, if people can support and give resources, that just helps us build up the capacity to actually explain more about what's going on in more creative ways, and then even beyond that, open up the space and organizational infrastructure to literally bring more people into what we're trying to cultivate. And we're not talking about the Discord space. We're not talking about an online space. We're talking about labor. We're talking about land. We're talking about our collective trust in humanity, and having that become, and our creativity, and having that be an engine for these types of land projects, the housing projects. And to be more concrete, we're talking about getting land, getting housing, and using different structures to decommodify it and open up space where people can start to practice the type of shit that we're talking about. And we're just starting with creatives and artists because that's what we are. Those are most of the people that we know. So we're starting there. And I just wanted to say that for people who I understand, they hear us saying these things and it excites them, but they're just like, well, I don't see anything. How can I tap in? What can I do? Like, why can't I, and it's like the boring, disappointing part is, it takes time and resources and capacity to like open it up to the level that you're desiring. And it's like us and the people we're so busy focusing on producing the show that it's hard for us to step out of that and find, the means to we're gonna bootstrap hella shit and like communicate hella shit anyways. We're gonna try to, but you make it easier, and when you support.
And it's like even on a smaller scale than that, it's like if you just like this show and want to see more of it, just donate, because it's like this shit where it's like, oh, we gotta have a Patreon, we gotta make a whole nother, like, we make a 3-hour episode that's produced and shot and has like shit dropped in, and there's edits and all. So much labor goes in, and then we have the mill of like fucking social highlights that we put out to try and get new viewers, and so that you can share this shit with other people and shit. It's like, just to do one episode is fucking wild. So it's like, doing 2 or like an extra one for fucking Patreon content, it's like we're not there yet. So it's like, this is like the Patreon content, you know what I mean? This is what you're fucking paying for, is that this shit continues.
It's the thing.
And you're not even, most of you are not, which is fine. I get it. Hey, it's fucking, it's the Wild West out here, but we're just telling you, like,
it's not gonna go. It's not gonna be able to go forever.
No, it's not. It won't go forever. If
it's not gonna do what you think it's gonna do, what you want it to do.
It also might slow down,
or it's slowed down, less reliable. Like, hey, why are we getting this episode Wednesday? It's like, because it's as if you made it. it's like if you made it. We're not. We're just people making this. It's truly. It's truly just some people who organized their fucking labor and made a co-op little gang. Sorry, try it with your peeps. We did it. Not so bad. It's cool. It's radical, actually.
It's rad.
All right, let's end this shit.
Y'all gotta go to bed.
Before we go, I appreciate y'all encouraging me on this fit, but I just gotta do a light roast of myself. This shit looks like if Mos Def was in Red Dead Redemption. This is very funny.
Happy birthday, Jake! I baked you a cake. What is that movie called? Is it 4 Blocks?
Shit.
What is it called? Fuck. My internet went out.
God damn it.
It's Bruce Willis and Mos Def. I need to fucking figure this
Another
out before we
rabbit
cut
hole.
this.
Four Brothers? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Oh,
It's
boy.
something blocks.
Blockhead.
Happy birthday, Jack. I baked you a
It
cake.
sounds like if you get the big shirt.
I will find. Fuck, God damn
She
it.
says she want to make a movie if you get the big shirt.
You got a big old booty called me bodybuilder.
Got about to build dirt. Sorry, man, dude.
Joey, you gotta pull up the the clip that I'm referencing.
Pull up my
Oh, yeah.
motherfucking tongue with this nut to you.
16 blocks. I said 4 blocks. 4
It's
blocks.
way longer than that. Way longer film.
Like 4 times as many blocks.
Yeah.
The number of blocks you said times that.
You thought it was a 30-minute film? No, 16 blocks.
At the end of 16 blocks, Mos Def's talking like he's talking like this to Jack, who's his character.
Dude, he's great.
I posted up on my internet when
Oh my god! All right,
He
let's
was
go.
he was great in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Anyways,
Oh yeah, he was.
That's a good ass movie.
Yeah.
yeah, right. I love that
Oh
movie.
wait. Okay, wait. Can I see if I can find this, please? It's worth it.
Yeah.
It's worth it, and it's sentimental.
Did you want to make a movie? Get a big yard.
Big old
Please
booty.
tell
Got
me
a
this
bodybuilder.
Please tell me this is. Oh yes, it is. Fuck.
They tell
Was
me
it-
that I murder everything like Columbine.
Was that
Sorry, baby.
What was that line? He's like, you say he hard. I'm asking. I asked his parents about that.
Yeah, we gotta go ask his parents about that.
Thank you. Happy birthday, Jack.
birthday.
Oh, birthday.
Happy birthday.
Welcome home.
I hate birthdays, you know that, right?
Sorry. That was a gust.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
What?
What the fuck does that mean?
This came with it.
It's like, this is my real hair, honey.
Listen.
Dear Jack Mosley, I hope you're doing well and everything worked out like it was supposed to. I'm doing great. Seattle is different and I like it a lot. I'm not sure I ever smelled fresh air before I got here.
This is fucking unreal.
Sometimes I can't even believe it. It's the best feeling I've had in my life. I'm busting my ass, but I'm happy though. The bakery is now open. Cheers. I put
Holy
my
shit,
name
with no
first because
context.
I'm doing all the hard work.
What the
These ovens
fuck?
are hot, man. I hope you like the cake.
This is like, I think you should leave. Oh my god.
If you ever in town, you got a friend. Thank you for doing the right thing, Jack Mosley. God bless you. Keep in touch. Peace.
Mom, take one more. Look. you know this guy. I was talking. Take one more.
Oh my Christ,
birthday,
bro. What is
Jack.
going on?
Happy birthday, Jack. Deanna's really great. Deanna's really great. I like it a lot. I did
That was like
brother.
a fucking Tim and Eric
My
sketch. Oh
brother,
my god.
my brother for my birthday sent me an edit of that clip where he put the picture of Mos Def being fake waterboarded over the picture.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
Subscribe, everyone. Tune in next week. What's going on, everyone? Subscribe. Next week, new episode of JADED Forum coming to you live. Let's clap us out.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
My little bakery in Afghanistan.
They want it, baby.
Is this still recording?
Yeah.
You gotta keep that. You gotta put that at the end. That's fucked up, but that's funny.